Hello, everyone, and welcome to Dark Galaxies Gaming live Twitch stream. We're here. We made it. 8 o'clock-ish. Thank you so much for joining us. I am GM Jeff Ball, and this is my cast of role mongers going around left to right really quickly here. My trigger man monitoring our chat and making a few cameo appearances before his own GMing debut on our own channel, Twitch TV GM's Cut, Mr. Rob Hammond.
Good evening.
Also, our resident rules lawyer, making another little cameo, as it were, for a very special character who Chaos likes to follow around, who he'll be playing under Rob on Sunday nights in the near future, but that's sort of a bit of a spoiler. Our resident rule lawyer tonight, who's read most, if not all, of the core book, because most of us have not, Mr. Joe Gibson is in the house tonight.
Hello.
And a few faces that you, or at least voices that you might familiar if you listen to the Role Mongers Actual Play podcast shows network. We have our star of the Star Wars show. We shot first, Mr. Matt Witt.
Good evening, everyone.
We have another Role Monger local, another Role Monger Canadian. There's a lot of Canadians in the studio tonight. Do we have any Americans? Oh, whoops. Hi, Frank. Yep, okay. We have our token American. We're good. Getting back to Mr. Ryan Messsina is in the house tonight joining us.
Hello, hello.
Our token American. Sorry. Old Man Arif, star of our Mummy's Mass series, Mr. Frank Hamilton, the role monger that's put in most of our shows to clean up our mess, is in the house tonight.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for listening.
And making her debut tonight, after a few loose undercut cameos in some of our shows, Dicewise Entertainment's executive producer and COO, Cheryl Ball, my wife.
Hello.
And me. Hi, I am your host, GM Jeff Ball, and thank you for joining us here at Dark Galaxies Gaming. First of all, a list of shout-outs. Our sponsor tonight. We have a sponsor, Matt. Where are you?
What?
We have a sponsor. Special shout out to Corey Thomas of Dark Galaxies Gaming, who invited us to stream on his channel and acted as our proxy for Fantasy Grounds, who is our sponsor tonight for this show, for Pathfinder Age of Ashes P2E, Pathfinder 2nd Edition, Hell Knight Hill, Book 1. We shall launch momentarily. So thank you, good people of Fantasy Grounds. I also, just in, some of Paizo's eyes are upon us tonight, and we welcome them and hope that we, dress to impress, as well as a few special announcements. First off, to our own auxiliary cast member, Ashley Florence. Happy birthday, Ashley! Sorry you couldn't be with us today. Happy birthday, Ashley!
Happy birthday.
To friends and family and co-workers who will fill the game chat with a whole bunch of heckling, I'm sure. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. If you have watched some of our spammy type trailers that have been haunting Twitter, Facebook, and our own Twitch channel lately, thank you so much for taking the time, making a note in your calendar, and joining us here tonight. So, to kick things off, have I missed any thank yous? Any glad handing? No? We're good? Okay. What are we doing? We are using the Fantasy Grounds, which is, you can buy this on Steam and download it to your computer, and it is a tabletop simulator, and it runs all kinds of systems. 5th edition, and for us, it's going to run Pathfinder, and Fantasy Grounds generously donated, sponsored us the Pathfinder Age of Ashes, Book 1, Hell Knight Hill. Now, since we're all kind of learning this together, come on, admit it. You have not read the core book cover to cover. You're beating your GM going, come on, read Fall of Plaguestone. We want to play something. Let's go. People are going, Unarmed Strike? No, now it's called Powerful Strike for the monk. It just goes on and on and on and on. So we invite you to learn along with us. So for the first couple episodes, till we get our feet under us, I thought it would be fun that instead of showing you the as it happens player view, we will show you the behind-the-scenes look. We're going to show you the DM view of Fantasy Grounds. And that way, as I click around and pull a couple things up and make a few comments, you'll see how great this system is. And I'm not just saying that because we're a sponsor. We've laid out and enjoyed Fantasy Grounds for several months now, playing all of our other podcasts as well. We're having a lot of fun, has a lot of potential, and we are really enjoying it. So, getting back to what you people can see. What can we see here? Well, a couple of lickety-split clicks. Ta-da! Now what I've got going here in the bottom is I have pulled up, let me show you here. Boop. I have pulled up these pop-up maps, and I've put a bunch into the bottom, into the F1, F2, F12 kind of thing. But they've got everything. They've got all the cover art. They have all the insight art and images, everything you want to share with players or just remind yourself for action scenes. It's all in here. It's all loaded up, and it's all at my fingertips. I have the control. It's rather intoxicating, really. Got my dice down here in the left side corner. We have a chat box, which you can see on the left side here. And in here, you will see legitimate dice rolls. And I'm actually going to show my own. So players, sort of a rules as raw. Now, I know you can fudge dice rolls, but that's what these are for. These beautiful molten lava dice rolls that if I'm not fast enough on the trigger for Fantasy Grounds, we have that lovely sound of the DM's first dice drop. So, where to begin our story? Well, I'd like to say that since this is also going to be restreamed on Saturday on our own channel at GM's Cut on Twitch TV, so you can enjoy it tonight on Friday at 8 o'clock. And if you don't quite make it or miss half the show, you can enjoy it again with a bunch of cast members sort of sitting in and actually possibly being somewhat more interactive on the Saturday night at 8 on our own channel. And later down the road, we're actually going to take the audio and put it up as a podcast, so you have several chances to enjoy this adventure with us. So, let us begin. I will call upon Mr. Dahlgren Trueseeker, a dwarven bard. The scene pulls down from space, the marble which is Galorian. The year is approximately 4719. The age of omens is nearing its end. The god Arodin wasn't supposed to die in prophecy, but he did, unfortunately, and now a ripe new time of opportunity for our adventurers is upon us. Down through the clouds of Galorian, into the inner sea regions, a slight shift left and north of Grundy on the north coast, around Old Cheliax, as it now is called. Just to the right is a lovely, it's a charming place. It used to be sort of a colony, and now they have their independence, called, Rob? I really jumped him there.
Sorry, no, I'm wrong here with my stream. My apologies.
It's okay. The country, because I constantly pronounce it wrong.
Isger.
Which to the northeast, the Five King Mountains, which I'm sure you've heard a lot. It is south, because just north is Multhune. To the southeast is Cheliax itself. And to the, well, I guess for your viewing would be this way, because backwards. Southeast, we have Alderan. Right in the middle of this charming little country, we have Breachill. And in Breachill, we have a tavern. Oh god, yes, they're all going to meet in a tavern. I apologize, I'm just reading what's on the script here. In this tavern called the Wizard's Grace, a lone, as you can see on your screen here, dwarven bard sits, muttering to himself, getting ready for tonight's performance, going over his thoughts, his lore, everything that's up here. Mr. Dahlgren Trueseeker, if you please.
Well over 10,000 years ago, during the fabled age of legend, an elven hero named Candleron the Sculptor created the very first elf gates, inspired by the gates between Galarian and Castrovel. These portals, which he called Ayadura, allowed for instantaneous travel between distant locales. He linked one from the elven capital city of Yadara to a necklace of magical power many miles to the southwest, at the convergence of several thrumming magical ley lines under a remote forested hill. He named this underground chamber Alsathe's Ring after the demigoddess of doorways and transitions, and similarly dedicated each of the 6 surrounding portals in the chamber to one of the 6 elven divinities. Over the centuries that followed with Candleron's disappearance, the devastation of Earthfall, and the use of the portals by the dragon god Dahak to wreak havoc on Galarian, and then, over the course of the next several thousand years, it fell into obscurity.
A single, half-drunk, early regular patron comes over and drops a copper into that mug. Your gnarled hands grasping his appreciatively. I love the picture we have up here. He's somewhere between the Big Lebowski and sort of a very, like the tunic he wears has this most soft, crushed, faded green-gray with the brown and red runes on it, and this sort of salt and pepper, mucky brown, sandy blonde hair that this gentleman has, as he clutches what looks like a hybrid between a violin and a sitar across his lap, tuning it, muttering to himself. It's still early in the evening here in Breachill, and the scene pulls back out over Breachill itself. It is located in the foothills of the Five Kings Mountains, in the eastern, shall we say, side of Isger. Breachill is a thriving town with about 1,300 inhabitants. Mostly are human, although there are notable populations of dwarves, half-elves, and gnomes. The town predates its most notable landmark, which sits about 1 mile to the northeast. And there is I have a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous picture of what is known as the Citadel Elderain up on Hell Knight Hill. About 8 years ago, when the Order of the Nail from the Hell Knights themselves retreated from the Citadel, it is laid mostly abandoned. But here in Breachill, life goes on. The scene moves over closer to the Five King Mountains and comes down upon a wagon pulled by 2 oxen, a cart loaded to the brim with supplies, barrels, every type of tool, and over half a dozen dwarves, slowly making its way to the edge of town. Here, in Breachill itself, we'll say that our cart comes in along the northeastern entrance. You are stopped by the local guard. Papers, bribes, the usual customary. And eventually, satisfied that you intend the town and its inhabitants no ill will, are allowed passage through the gates into Breachill itself. A short time later, early evening, 8-9 hours past high watch, 3 of this company stand before a tavern known as Wizard's Grace. They have come to hobnob, as locally monthly tradition, with the local patrons and adventurers that gather for a monthly calling, the Call of Heroes. The town council will assemble tomorrow at noon. They will address any business owner, any local, any patron that wishes to raise a grievance, and as tradition, they will hire an adventuring company if needed, or adventurers per se, and dole out these jobs, these tasks, these dangers to be taken care of, to keep the town safe, to keep the lands nearby safe, and to keep business in Breachill thriving and peaceful. 3 dwarves, 1 door. You can imagine what happens next. Gentlemen, as you enter, I really can't believe I'm saying this after 30 years of gaming. It's been so done. As you enter the tavern one by one, please state your name and describe your character for the audience please. Let's start with Frank.
All right. I kind of shoulder my way in. Hands on my hips, kind of looking around, surveying the place. My name's Theowen. Some call me the hard-hearted, but I am a gentle soul. He wears, kind of a scale mail, kind of lapped, across his chest, armor and accoutrement of his trade craft kind of slung over his shoulder, bowed handle of an axe kind of thrown over the other. And you can tell just by looking at the axe that it's seen its share of chopping wood, breaking brick on the pick side to maybe something a little more fleshy from some old pitted stains on it. Let me introduce my companions. We're here for profit. And I'll turn, stepping in, and point to the next dwarf behind me. Hey, come in here. Make yourselves known.
Ryan, would you describe your dwarf, please?
Oh, walk in. For dwarf standards, I consider myself to be a towering, sexy symbol of dwarven power. Just taut cord muscles in every which way. They wear some loose flowing pants and more of a scarf. No shirt. All is on display as a rich chest hairs flow freely. As I imagine there's always a constant breeze just flowing them. Also showing off the majestic beard. There's a quiver over one shoulder, got a couple of javelins into it. I got a coin purse on one side. I'll walk past her. That's what my young cousin here says. It's true. The mighty weapons of the Five King Mountains have come down here to bless your little town. With our blessings.
A few patrons pop up. Save it for the council tomorrow, buddy! And the whole place just kind of chuckles. Last but not least, dwarf number 3.
Aye, like he said, save it for the council, lad. And I walk in and walk right up to the bar. The name's Albrecht. These are some distant relatives of mine. By the way, what have you got good to drink here? Lean in towards the bartender. Something strong.
A knowing smile and 3 tall tankards are delivered in front of you in short order. Gentlemen, as you belly up to the bar, as it were, conveying your surroundings, you do note that there is a kinsman, a fellow dwarf. Actually, a few. There are 2 in the corner, probably tradesmen, that just sort of nod and raise a mug. As in, good to see you, don't come talk to us. And, of course, a performer who's sitting on a stool on the edge of the bar with one mug in hand and the other sort of on the ground for tips, and a large, unusual stringed dwarven instrument at his side. And he just seems to be sort of on break, resting, sipping away at the mug, and is eyeballing you guys curiously.
I'll
Dahlgren,
snatch.
sorry, go ahead.
Said I'll snatch up the flagon that's kind of slid out for us. Hold it aloft. I'll drink your ale, but know this: you've not tasted finer spirits until after I've set up me stills. And I'll take a big hit.
Dahlgren, True Seeker. Dwarf, Bard. Now, to an outside onlooker, a dwarf's a dwarf. They all look the same. But we'd like to look a little deeper. Dahlgren, if you had to guess at what sort of heritage, ancestry if you were, these gentlemen come from on the Five King Mountains, they're dwarves, but amongst kinsmen, there are different cultures, subcultures, different sort of sub-races within. Can I have a knowledge society check from our NPC bard, as it were? While we're waiting for that, last to arrive?
A whole whopping 9.
Well, they said they were cousins. Maybe you'll have to offer to buy them a drink and get their tongues wagging to find out a little bit more about them for our audience tonight. But in the meantime, last to arrive on the scene, coming in, peeking in the door cautiously, and then bringing herself in, her halfling, I want to say hoopak, because it reminds me of the Kender staff, but it's not, a halfling sling staff over her shoulder. We have
Mara of Desna?
Desna. Mara of Desna.
Mara of Desna.
Yes, that is you. Would you describe the little lady, please?
I have light brown hair with white tips and aquamarine colored eyes.
You, gentlemen, you don't see her wearing any armor. Do you wear any vestments of the goddess? You don't exactly walk in and announce that you are.
You can see her holy symbol.
Yeah. Large wooden holy symbol, carved in the form of a butterfly, marking her a acolyte of Desna. Now, there are some interesting backgrounds that a player can take that give you a bit of a backstory, boost a couple stats, and there are very specific ones that we have sort of manually transcribed into this here that come from the actual player's guide that flavors the characters for the specific adventure. They're pretty unique. It's not the type of thing going, I have a dagger in my left hand, I have this background in my right. So we're going to let them try to come out organically, either through you guessing through our role play, or shall we say questioning, or give them the chance. But watch for that. Watch for any indication of our players sort of hinting at a little bit more about themselves as the story progresses. Now you can download the player's guide for Age of Ashes, Hell Knight Hill, Book 1, from paizo.com, and follow along with us if you like, and try to guess. Read them over. It's only a 10-page booklet. It's not a hard read. Talks about the town, talks about the actual backgrounds if you want to play. We're hoping to tempt you. We are kind of hoping to tempt you that you'll not only listen to us play, but you'll want to play this stuff yourself on Fantasy Grounds. That's where it's at. So, gentlemen, slugging ales, time goes by. A kinsman approaches, introduces himself as a local and a performer. You get the usual, where are you from, how's it going, back and forth, all of that thing that happens at a bar. And everyone becomes accustomed to the locals, the patrons, and each other in time. The Wizard's Grace is not a large establishment. It is a friendly establishment. And as is custom, the night before the actual high noon council tomorrow, adventurers are expected to pile in here and make themselves known, making connections, networking with the locals. And you guys see a lot of that going on. However, what you don't see this month, unbeknownst to our Dwarven King, who have ulterior motives for coming here, but our Halfling would pick up right away, is there's really only you guys. Half a dozen adventurers at best. Now, one of the new player races that they're introducing in Pathfinder is the Goblin. I would assume that We Be Goblins, a series where you could actually play a pack of them and be the bad guy, the good guy, and just have chaotic fun, was so popular that when they made 2nd edition for Pathfinder Core Rules, they're like, we gotta have these little guys in here. And they are represented, as it were. I can't say you can see in the bar at this moment, but watch for them. They're here. They're in the adventure, and they're adorable and chaotic. So, gentlemen, getting to know one another, and into the evening hours, things droll on. And there's probably a point where just about everyone has come up, talked to the barkeep, asked who you are, where you're from, what's going on, are you here for tomorrow, those types of things. And it goes around and around and around again. But I'd like to focus, let's just say, on one conversation. The conversation where a young halfling acolyte of Desna comes to the bar to refill her drink. And out of polite curiosity, perhaps you gentlemen or she would address each other.
Oh, look at you. Can I buy you a drink?
I won't say no to that.
What would you make, kinsman? Why don't we take a table? Seems to be only us here tonight. You're welcome to join us.
Thank you.
So hefting mugs or leaving them for the service to bring over. You guys pull up a table. Now, I can't say that there are a lot of gnomes and halflings in the town. There's a sizable amount. So I'm sure there are chairs. You know, you go into, let's say, a family establishment, tavern, restaurant, and they have those for wee ones and children, that type of thing. But it's politely acknowledged that, you know, those could be used by the smaller folk.
Yeah, we'll take the tray off. Yeah.
I've got an axe. I can just chop the legs down on this table here. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Well, not that you guys are so tall.
You're just the right size.
Calling upon our rules lawyer, can we say there's a basic comparison between ye old new dwarf and ye old classic dwarf? I don't want to get into a big argument like first edition, second edition, this has changed, that has changed. What I'm looking for is to present second edition based on what the classic idealism through all novels, all movies, and all other systems, it does boil down to a certain kind of stereotype. And if there's anything new, exciting, or just rolling with the classics, we'll call upon Mr. Gibson tonight to let us know. So first question for Joe. Changes in the dwarf. Is there anything really, really big? Size, height, anything like that?
For majority of stuff, has not really changed. Your classic dwarf, i.e. like your Lord of the Rings dwarf, is pretty much what they're going with.
Okay. Big beard, stocky build, 4-ish feet tall.
Yeah.
Heavier, solid. All that. Okay. And what about the halfling?
And the halfling is going along same as with the Lord of the Rings type.
Okay. Kind of like a hobbit.
The stout, yeah.
Now, I did notice one thing was about base land speed. Everyone gets your human has your 30 feet, and the dwarves get 20, but the halfling actually has 25 feet to start off. So yes. I'm just sketching the dwarves just kind of plod along. But not spending too much time in the world of rules. We will dance in here a little bit, just whenever we feel that, you know, making mention and rattling Joe's chain is necessary. But in the meantime, I would like to ask, is there anything you gentlemen wish to accomplish relevant besides getting to know each other, making contacts, bedding down, you know, anything that would be called upon later, that when we get into the adventure tomorrow, the proverbial tomorrow, don't worry, it's going to happen in like 5 minutes. I don't want anybody like, oh, I totally would have done that last night. Oh, yeah, we all got tattoos. Look at that. Yeah, the halfling's right there. See her, she's our new woman. Like, no, I want to know now. There's, you know, she's part of the clan, you know.
Well, on my first visit to the tavern, I would for sure talk to the barkeep and inquire as to who their local liquor suppliers are.
Okay. All right. Anyone else? That's good to know.
Well, you don't know who you're competing against until you've tasted all their wares. So I'll line up several in front of me and begin tasting them indiscriminately. This is a good week. I don't know who brews that, but it's not quite like a hobo's foot. It's not bad.
Okay. So, legitimate drinking. You know, not just for getting drunk. This is research.
Science.
This is it's for science.
Okay.
For the love of the craft.
All right. Well, how about a round of fortitude saves? That would assume that the rest of you feel that you need to keep pace with Theowen. Anyone?
I'm good.
Just sip away. Okay.
I cannot have my younger cousin put me under the table. That's just not how we do.
All right.
His
I'll
logic
definitely
is
join him.
sound.
Fortitude is 17.
I'll take a wee sip out of each flagon, just so I know what the competition's serving.
Nice. Sure. And Moros?
Yeah. Muro's got 11.
Okay. Theron?
I've got a 15.
And sips from the sorcerer.
Aye, 17.
All right. That's enough that you guys, let's say, we'll wake up with headaches tomorrow, but we don't need anyone slovenly drunk. But I would like to feel that this would loosen a few tongues. So to push things along, as we're sort of choppily, statically going through the bar scene, how about a little bit more on the characters? So, Theowen, the hard-hearted. What is your vocation? What do you do for a living as an adventurer?
Well, I'm a craftsman by trade. According to these new fancy craft rules, I can make just about anything, it seems. But formally, I'm a brewer. I make beers and ales, and the more levels I gain, the better I'll be at it.
You mentioned a still earlier. Are you looking to petition the town to become a merchant, a supplier, and possibly buy an establishment here?
Well, if fortune favors me, then I'll be the purveyor of fine wines and whiskeys in this town. I can think of no finer trade for a dwarf than brewing quality beers.
Okay. And your adventuring career?
Well, when things get rowdy, you've got to crack a few heads, don't you? That's what me axe is here for. So I've known to swing fists with the best of them. I'm a fighter.
Okay.
Not a lover.
Okay. And your elder cousin, as he called you, his younger cousin, Muros Anvilbender?
Hey, that's the family name.
The shirtless one.
Hey,
Get it
glad
written
you
right across.
noticed. I knew you were looking.
Well, if your beard and chest hair didn't cover so much of you and they thought you were wearing a sweater, then, maybe people would tell you there's children here at the bar. But
I'm a keen observer of pupils.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about your, shall we say, vocation. Are you here to brew as well?
Hey, I have a knack for finding out the tasty bits of nature, and then which age the best and turn good. Not to mention, I learned how to smash a couple of metal objects together to make for good containers and stews.
Now, you boys are both from the Five Mountains. Is there a certain clan, place, or city that you hail from? Or are we keeping that under our beard right now? For as friendly as you guys seem, I'm assuming that dwarves are still stubborn and may not just, spill everything about themselves in the first cup.
That was only one fortitude check you had us do.
All right.
Let's not have me kicking my pants off both legs at a time this early in the evening.
All right, fair enough. So, getting back to dwarf number 3.
Aye.
Let's say I'm just going to assume, looking at stats or whatever, that your natural personal magnetism, which also supports your class and charisma, has the owner, a female human by the name of Trinil Uskwil. Sort of, you got them when they kind of lean on the bar with the one elbow. They're there to stay. They're either going to lecture you, or at least you have their interest.
Perfect.
And she's the one asking you. So, where do you boys hail from? What are you doing in Breachwood? And do you know old Dulgren down there?
Aye.
It's rumor
I met
true that all
old Dulgren
dwarves
this
know each
evening.
other.
It's been a long time, but the whole second. That be us. They know each other.
We all hail from various parts of the Five Mountains. Myself, I was born in Highhelm, but I spent a majority of my time in the city of Tarkazmuk. I'll let the other lads fill you in. It's not my place to tell you about them. But as to why we've come to Breachill, there's many reasons, adventure being the number one, but also, we're looking to find our fortune. My friend over there, I point back to Theowen, he's a master brewer. We might be looking for a place to set up shop. Maybe provide some of the locals with quality dwarven ales.
Hopefully it's not just the locals.
Well, if you boys promise to behave yourselves, I'm sure I could find you accommodations here or nearby. If you feel, shall we say, to indulge in your rowdier heritage, you'd probably want to go down to the Pickled Ear. Roxy Den, she's a little bit more, shall we say, tolerant than I am for property damage, and she just sort of like looks all the way down at you guys and then back at the sorcerer, if you catch my meaning.
Aye, lass, we'll behave ourselves. You don't have to worry about that unless someone comes through on their way to our way.
Very well. Excuse me. And she, goes down, refills drinks, and parks herself in front of our young halfling. Hello, lass. Always a pleasure to see one that worships Desna, grace our halls. Would you do us a favor, she says, and the next round on me, if you give the bar a blessing?
That would be, yes, I would love to do that.
So do you?
I do.
Stand up on the little stool and
yeah.
Speak.
I'll walk up and down the bar.
Okay, she gets right up on the bar.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the two dwarves in the back are like, all right, dance. All right. Look at this.
Lassie, pointing over at the bartender, owner of the establishment. I did not know it was this kind of place.
She looks at you flatly. It's not. Lass, if you please. And clasping her hands together and leading us in a prayer as she gets to the center of the bar, young Mara speaks a few words to Desna.
Yes, I speak a few words to Desna.
Which we don't get to hear right
now.
Keeping it in the third person.
I have not come up with that yet.
Well, this is a basic prayer, right? Gentlemen, does anyone have knowledge religion besides Miss Myra, obviously?
I know a thing or two about gods.
Okay, let's have a roll, sir.
All right, let me find that particular page on me sheet.
Okay.
That would be that one right there.
Now I'm just going to cheat. I'm going to show the audience your skill here. Going into the main sheet, down the right side of the character sheet, there are tabs, and you go from main, showing stats, combat, and then poof into skills. And the T's here all stand for the training, which give proficiency bonuses. But calling upon Mr. Gibson once more really quickly, the skill set here is pretty much open to just about anyone at least trying everything raw, just running off of their base attribute.
Yeah, if you're not trained, you can try anything untrained.
Yeah. Now this goes above like open skills like athletics. Everyone can climb. Some are trained in it, are really good climbers. Some just chug up the hill and ask for you to throw down the rope, right? That's kind of obvious. But what about things that you would think you'd need a little bit more training in?
But when the skills, because now skills have skill feats.
Mm-hmm.
So as you progress in level, opening up the feats allows other options, which you can do more specifically comparatively to somebody who's untrained. Untrained, you just get raw rolls and you get it or not. But then it's also based up to the DM, based off the DC.
Okay. So,
and if I remember correctly, the other modifier is if somebody in your group can help you with certain feats and actions as well.
Yes. The aid and other is still sort of open to us.
Aid and other is still open, and it gets a lot better at higher levels.
Okay. Now, we have training here, but you click again, you get an E for expert. There's master, and then legendary status, giving bonuses that go up and up and up. 3, 5, 7, 9, as it were. A quick example is I remember in a basic rule set, you could basically, you could use disable device and you could jam a wagon wheel. You could pick a lock, but the rogue had a class feature and stuff that allowed them to like take that and run with locks or whatever. Is how this is working now? That not dependent on the class, just depending on getting into the skill focus itself and putting the feats into it or whatever. that just about anyone, obviously the rogue will probably have class features that give it a huge advantage or bonuses, but anyone can get into the world of thievery, picking pockets. I saw a skill feat for that. There's picking the lock, as it were, getting into some of the classic underhanded things through that one skill.
Yes, everybody can try.
Okay. And same thing like survival, people can track, do a bunch of, you're not going, we need a ranger, we need a rogue. It's like, no, you just need someone to pick up part of the skill set. You're good to go.
Yes, but it's also helpful for people who are trained. Then their chance of success is a lot better comparatively to somebody just going in blind.
Yeah, you want to discard the advantage of having a rogue or a ranger in your party as opposed to like, oh, I have a pick and I have a footprint, I'm good to go. No, yeah, sorry. Sorry, Rob, you were saying?
Well, the difficulty check is generally left up to you as well.
Yes.
Like, how hard is it to do like this? If a person could figure it out, you'd give them a softer check.
Yeah, but we don't want someone just going, oh, like Frank was saying, crafting. Right, here's my first attempt at mithril plate. Excuse me, just take a 20, ding, ding, ding. No, there's, a certain amount of, like, this is, despite the DC or wherever it sits, there's a certain amount of training required where you need to be an expert or a master or something
yes,
to even
of course.
attempt
There's things that you couldn't do.
Okay, so, sorry, on with the show. Theon, religion, what'd you get?
I got a 21.
So, as our little divergent rules discussion, okay, Mara of Desna finishes up her prayer, and you believe with a 21 that she is the real deal. She's got the prayer book down, the goddess of moon and travel and luck, butterfly symbol. There's almost like it's an imperceptible sheen about the little halfling cleric when she sort of gets all up in her goddess stance. And, I'm not saying she's lifting off the bar or anything like that, but with knowledge religion, she's either a damn good charlatan or, the real deal you believe. She's not just tossing words about like a bard going, yes, the pray and the thing and the splash the beer. No offense, Dahlgren.
I'll turn to me, brothers. Hey, that one favors or has the favor of the gods with her. Should we be needing healing, we'll keep that one close. Careful, though. She doesn't wear much by way of armor. Most dangerous women I know wore next to nothing. You've got to keep your eye on her.
So on that misogynistic yet comforting note, a calm, a cozy feeling after our little prayer, and everyone happily returns to their cups. No bar fights break out. People a little bit more amicable towards each other, back and forth. We meet some patrons. You guys test and taste everything you can, and finally find accommodations. If not, just pass out right here, and they'll throw water on you in the morning. Morning comes. Light slamming through windows, waking you, dressing, ready to go. Up and go about your morning business before, at high noon, you want to meet with the council. Looking into suppliers, I believe was on the menu. Looking into scoping the competition. Can I have some knowledge social checks, which double down as the old knowledge local from our dwarves?
Albrecht got a 7.
Theon got a 14.
Dahlgren, even if the rolls are crappy, buddy, if you're going to contribute, you got to call them out. Sorry.
Hey, you've got to talk louder than that. It's like you're mute.
Oh, sorry about that. I got a 2. I failed both.
All right. So, lucky for you, gentlemen, our local bard, Dahlgren, shows you guys around, gloms onto you a little bit, but doesn't seem to be overly helpful lately. However, once around the town, a couple questions, ear to the ground, you guys learn that your biggest sort of, I wouldn't say competition, but those in the know are the Pisani brothers. They are here on the map at number 11. They're located, their warehouse and establishment right here on Breach Creek. Now, describing the town, you have your classic, let's say, vertical rectangle with rounded edges of a wall that goes around the town itself. Straight through from the bottom left southwest corner and gracefully arcing up, widening quite a bit, several hundred feet in the center, and arcing up in a graceful L shape towards the northeast part of the wall, exiting out of town. We have Breach Creek. To the south, forests, the Crimson Tidewood, practically come right up to the actual city walls. To the west, we have the Tuscan Head Slope. To the north, open lands. And of course, Breach Hill is sort of at the base, if not lopsided, on a hill itself. There are roads heading out on the northwest. There's the way you guys came in, which is the northeast entrance exit. There are 4 bridges that cross the creek, and the one most interesting is the shortest bridge because there is a huge circular stone dais looking platform, several hundred feet across, sticking out like a peninsula right in the center of Breach Creek, called Monument Circle, which has not 1 but 6 water towers surrounding it. And just to be fun, I've got a really nice picture here where we can see not only Hell Knight Hill, which is like a mile from here, but an early sunrise coming over a misty veil of a town. And you can distinctly see here in our video the 6 water towers sort of dominating the horizon right in the center of this sleepy landscape. But getting back to the question at hand, the Pisani brothers have been here for 5 generations. They are a masonry business, but they do seem to have a bit of a squeeze on the town. They have a lot of other markets cornered, and I'm not saying they control the town, but they definitely are a huge influence, and they are human. There's also a dual storefront called Quarters and Bits, and it is opposite where you have the Pisani brothers on one side of the river. On the east side of town, across the river on the west side of town, tucked against the wall, we have the Quarters and Brits, and its proprietor is one Crink Twiddleton, a halfling. He dresses rather outlandishly and is like the real salesman, as it were. And let's just say 5 minutes with him, you get back to him when you want to actually do a deal. But, you know, the glad handing everything was enough to chase you off. Now, the guys are probably looking at me wondering, they know I love doing voices. They know I like every little NPC, but I'm really trying to kind of stay on point, give an overview of the town while doubling down on a little bit of rules lawyering, so that you know, the show might continue on at a brisk pace. And I seem to have lost. I'm going to start clicking buttons.
Your marbles.
No, I seem to have lost. That's the wheel. That's zoom. That's the logo. Seem to have lost you guys. You're all invisible. Just
That's dwarven stealth.
terribly sorry.
There's evil magic afoot.
This is the second time that something's just kind of like you know, popped up and oh look, it's sort of disappeared on me. That's okay.
So we know who failed the fortitude save.
But bum. So, gentlemen, noon rapidly approaches. And before we sort of, shall we say, head over heels, because things will happen quickly, I'm going to call for it ever, because even the audience might like a 5-minute break, and we will be right back. And we're back with real volume and sounds this time. Okay, so quick T and a P, as it were. Gentlemen, a new day dawns. Noon rapidly approaches, and after attending some minor business for your own agenda, you find yourself outside the actual town hall. This is where the adventure begins. Sure enough, Halfling shows up. The three of you converge. The town hall itself is actually attached to the peninsula just on the main land of Monument Circle, where those water towers and the actual Breach Creek flow right through the town. I would have to say that if you chalked this sort of rounded rectangle of a town into two thirds, it is the very top of the bottom third, center of town. And I'm just going to zoom in a little bit here on the map so that people can see Breachill Town Hall. As you guys come around, there are townsfolk, patrons, why some of the people you even met last night at the Wizard's Grace, waiting around. A good 20, 30, 40 or more people are all waiting because the guards will open the town hall very, very soon, and everyone will go in and converge and air their grievances and, well, shall we say, answer the call of heroes. Now, meanwhile, out front, I wouldn't say there's a festive-like quality going on in the air, but people have brought their kids, and you guys are definitely getting oogled by young and old alike. I'm assuming that you guys possibly have dressed for the occasion. Are we presenting ourselves as brewers wanting to dig in, or are we presenting ourselves as adventurers who wish to know the town woes and make some coin solving it?
Hey, that's the same thing for me.
All right. So could you describe your character a little bit more a little bit more thorough, and don't be afraid to highlight quickly on a couple of the, shall we say, choices in your character creation?
All right. Well, like I've said this morning, I've got my armor on. It's like the second skin. And yes, I am a bit furry, because as we all know, the longer the beard, the thicker the beard, the better the dwarf. As I, stand there, you can smell a bit of almost soot from my skin, maybe hinting back to a dwarven heritage. But other than that, hair is slightly almost receding. The typical dwarf starts right around 25 for adulthood. He's a little bit older. He's almost 50. Mm-hmm. They can live out to be between 300 and 400 years old. So he's still very spry for his age. But other than that, crisp blue eyes looking around, dark black kind of sooty hair, sooty beard. Yeah. But other than that, hand rests a little uneasy on his axe this morning as he's looking around. He's not quite certain what to expect from all these people, but he knows there's coin somewhere. I can almost smell it.
Okay.
You've got coin you don't need. No, over there. That's silver. I smell it. So yeah, he's just looking for opportunity.
Okay. So greedily leering at the crowd. Good opener. But you can see that in the charisma. The Frank's dump stat. Next, we have dwarf number 2, as we'll fondly call him. Moros, Anvilbender. I'm assuming not much has changed overnight? Or are you parting everything to the left now on the chest as opposed to the right?
A keen observer would have noticed that I'm more presented. I swear I sprouted 5 more chest hairs over the course of the evening.
You spent the night counting them, did you?
Combing and waxing.
All right. And last but not least in our dwarven mini kingdom, come here to brew, the sorcerer.
Aye, well dressed as usual, well kempt as usual, long thick beard oiled, brushed finely.
Albrecht.
Albrecht.
Okay.
You can call me Al.
Okay. I noticed none of the three of you have proudly stated your last names or your clan names. However, a keen observer, that would be our halfling, as well as possibly Dulgrin, the bard, with a, shall we say, society check, would note, despite the display, despite how different and yet almost acting the same these three dwarves are, somewhere on their person, whether it be tucked sideways, sticking out of a small sheath on the back of their belt, sticking out of the top of a boot, or perhaps just resting off the offhand on the hip, poking through material. The proud, wide, flat dagger tipped with a carved pommel known as a dwarven clan dagger. Each one of you carries one of these representing your own clan, and for a dwarf to lose it would bring shame upon shame. So,
Aye, and Albrecht being Albrecht, the proud man he is, wears his around his neck with a thick cord,
like a hope knife.
and the clan emblem proudly being displayed as a rocky mug of frothy ale.
Oh, nice. And what about you, Monsieur Hard-Hearted, Theon?
Mine's worn like a belly knife, so I can reach and grab it quick, in case I lose me axe. Unlikely as that may be, still, it's close at hand. Mine's got a pair of crossed hammers over a cold forge.
And Moros?
I wear mine at the back of my belt. It's more of a decorative piece, and it's safer back there, out of sight and out of mind. And on it, it's got an anvil that's split in two.
Ooh. With the proverbial huzzah chop or a lightning bolt, or just a broken anvil?
With a huzzah chop with a hammer. How else do you do it?
Oh, just sorry. I'm just picturing this very, very well. So, Dulgrin. We also notice we wouldn't ask. It's impolite for a dwarf to say, "Hey, let's see your clan." You know, you assume it's on him, but he doesn't show it. It's not relatively proudly worn out. You know he's got one on him, unless he's been declanned or shamed or whatever. But maybe his clan is not so powerful as one of yours, whoever, you know, type of thing. It's not polite in society for a dwarf or a person to know to, like, you know, where is it, that kind of thing. Some wear them proudly, just like wearing your t-shirt, your own personal, you know, jewelry, that type of thing. Some, it's more of a personal, you know, possession.
It's more of a you show me yours and I'll show you mine.
Yeah. I would be like leaning in telling them that, but yeah. So a little bit of hint. I'm dying to see, you know, if anyone in the chat there is starting to like guessing. I want to see comments rolling up. They're going, he's this dwarf, he's that dwarf, he's took this ancestry. A little fun in the chat there. But getting back to the scene at hand, we see, and let's get into what we got here. That's that one. These images are so handy. There we go. Pacing nervously back and forth, obviously wanting to be the first right in the chamber door, is a small female goblin, well dressed with a professor's, almost like a graduation college hat, white robes with bright blue trim, wearing a silver holy symbol of Desna, wearing square silver earrings, carrying a stack of books and scrolls that she constantly puts down as she nervously paces back and forth in front of the door, and then suddenly coming upon them each cycle and remembering, oh, shouldn't leave these, picks them, scoops them back up, stumbling with them, pacing again nervously, and then putting them back down. She really seems to be the only person here that seems upset. Everyone else, like I said, you've got gawkers to your left, you've got kids flinging stones, and you've got the monk blocking them absentmindedly on the right. You've got our bard creepily just whispering in dwarven ears from behind, going, show me yours, you know, show you mine, that kind of thing. Halfling just sort of waiting patiently in line. What would the four of you like to do? Now, this is what we call exploration mode, where you guys can sort of have an overriding action. I am seeking. We want to pay attention. Now I'm perceiving. I'm tracking. It's sort of like you're out in the wilderness, or you're here in town, or what's chucking up 65% of this old CPU, and you can usually relate it to a skill. And if we switch to encounter mode, which is let's get the initiative going, those skills, those rolls actually hold as your initiative going into the inevitable riot and pitchforks and the town attacking you, but I'm sure that'll come later. So
I should hope not.
Gracefully just sort of going around an easy pinwheel with Frank Theowen, dwarf number 2, our monk, the sorcerer, and last but of course not least, our halfling lass with Dolgan on the side. What are you each doing as you patiently wait for high noon, which should really be any moment now?
Just getting in the crowd, seeing for anyone who stands out.
I'm doing roughly the same thing, just kind of sizing up anyone else who may be vying for the same kinds of contracts that we're looking for. Anybody that seems overly distressed, maybe we can insert ourselves, kind of jump the gun there a bit.
Okay.
Just looking for opportunity. Adventure! That's...
All right. Can I have perception from those that are leery of their surroundings? And does anyone have their brain, occupied with anything else? And is there anything you guys wish to do as far as interacting with the crowd?
Well, the one lady in distress that will obviously catch a little bit of my attention. Mm-hmm. Maybe just lean in near her way, see if I can figure out without asking.
Okay.
What's the problem?
All right. So you're trying to figure out if her problem is obvious as opposed to walking up and asking?
Exactly.
Okay. So Ulbrich, what'd you get for perception?
12.
She seems preoccupied. She seems worried that something is weighing on her mind. And obviously she wants to get in there and see the council, because she's not just randomly wandering around town totally distracted. She is on point. She's in front of that door. She's back and forth with her books and scrolls. But the little goblin frowny face and the tearing up little red eye, kind of an obvious sign. Now, at one point, Theowen, with your perception of 16, you see another goblin approach her, take her in hand. A male goblin wearing an apron, ask her a couple of quick questions, shake her hands sort of assuredly, and just kind of go off like a man on the mission. But other than that, she continues to worrywart her way around in front of the door. The crowd continues to, some approach you guys and ask you questions, that type of thing, or, but a lot of people just kind of standing around like you guys are celebrities, giving you your personal axe edge swinging space, as it were.
I look at one. Yes, the axe is real. Look at the other. Yes, it's very heavy. And move through the crowd, going towards the distressed one there. Hey, right. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Theowen, son of Dorn Crosshammers. You seem to have something on your mind that need not be there. What can I do for you?
Thank you. It's very, very kind of you. I'm sorry, where are my manners? I am Warble Bumblebrasher, and I'm ambassador to the Bumblebrasher goblins of Hell Knight Hill. It is my great honor to serve my fellow citizens of Breachill as the town's official representative to the Bumblebrashers. I communicate with them, you see, and convey the town's concerns and interests to them. They advocate on... Well, I advocate on the tribe's behalf. It is a duty I take very seriously, you see. They are my people, after all, she says, in like the big green ears kind of twitch, quote, quote. Hence, This is why I'm here today. And I'm rather distracted, sorry, from earlier. I hope you'll forgive it.
No, tell me your woes. I'm here to help.
Oh, well, I'm worried about the Bumblebrashers because they're a tribe of goblins who for years now have lived peacefully in isolation up in Citadel Alderain, the former Hell Knight keep on the hill just outside of town. These paragraphs are long for someone so worried. Typically every 2 weeks I meet with Helba, the tribe's chieftain on the road outside the keep. We discuss news, and I convey the town's interests and hear any concerns that the tribe might wish me to bring before the council. It is a relationship of utmost importance. Yes, and Helba is normally punctual, but she's missed our previous 2 meetings, and I have seen plumes of smoke coming from the top of the citadel. She just sort of glances over the wall at some random direction. The smoke is chalky red in color, the tribe's traditional color of distress. I fear, she says, like a shaky hand coming towards you, almost touching your wrist. I feel the Brumble Brashers are in danger, or that something dire has befallen them. It has near sickened me with worry. And then scrolls just start sliding off her little book stack. She doesn't even seem to notice looking at you.
Well, you've got every reason to worry. She might well be dead already.
The ears just droop.
Ever the optimist.
Yeah. Guys, so,
Thing to say.
yeah, so
I'm great. I'm great at introductions. Not much for the soft pillow talk, if you will. I mean, shall we go take a look that way? Is that what you're hoping?
With the sorcerer kind of chiming in, going, "Good one, dude," and you turn to sort of defend your ways. Halfling steps up and
It's okay, dear. I'm sure everything will be fine. Don't listen to him.
It's kind of hopefully turn towards you. It's kind of
Well, maybe he's not dead. Never know till you have a look, right? And that's why you're here. For someone to go up that way and take a stab at it. I mean, look.
Yeah, yes. I'm certain something foul has befallen the Bumble Brashers. Their leader, Helba, would not miss our meetings twice in a row for absolutely no reason. Nor, scroll, would the tribe signal to its distress if something terrible were not amiss. I plan to present this information to the council and ask them to hire adventurers like yourselves to contact my tribe. I'm actually rather glad you're here.
Yeah, it's very fortuitous for you, I agree. So, what's our next step? I look to my brothers. Hey, it seems we've been presented.
You are adventurers, are you not? I'm suddenly worried. You guys are like turning around. Hey, what do we want to do?
Hey, that we are.
What do we look mistaken for? Barristers?
Well, you're just the heroes I hope the council might hire on my behalf then, but please, there is a system in place for a reason. Come with me into the meeting. It will start any time soon. And listen to my petition. And if you are up for my task, I beg you to offer your services to the council. You might be my tribe and Obi-Wan's only hope. I can't believe I just said that.
Wrong podcast.
It's my nerves, you see. It's my first live stream, and I'm just sickened with worry. Anyway, sure enough, as if on cue, the doors open from the inside. 2 guards come out and start orderly ushering people inside. And I present you now with the map, or I should say, a new map.
Dun.
As I just scroll through all these images, come on, where's my bloody map?
Scroll.
Yeah, really.
Scroll.
Oh, it's not bloody yet. We have had leaving and gotten inside.
There we go. There we go. Here we have, I'm just trying to get in here as tight a shot as I can here. Okay, we'll just back out. There we go. Here we have the main part of the council. Now, again, a little shameless plug. Thank you to our sponsors for Fantasy Grounds. The audience, ladies and gentlemen, not the players, are privy to a couple things that I can see and can control that our players cannot see. So, faded out, there are possibly events, things that are coming up, which I can sort of drop on the players by bringing them up to the surface and becoming visible to the players. But right now, the guards outside, all the town folks, and the council members left to right 5 at the head of this chamber are all present, accountable, and seen by our players. The players themselves, we've just kind of placed our little halfling nearby at the bottom back. The 3 dwarves lined up at the back row. Most of the town have sort of taken favorite seats, and like I said before, there's a good 40 people in the room, not counting yourselves, and the 5 council members who enter the room from the northwest door. They come striding in unison. Finally arrange themselves, some quick chatting while people are sitting down. From east to west, you see nameplates. We have Josk Hinderclaw, a dwarf. We have Melma Ann Sindari. We have Greta Gardenia in the center, acting as council president. We have Trini Spizzlegig, a gnome. And we have Quintino Passandi of the Passandi brothers. Melma, Greta, and Quintino obviously are humans. Josk, as I said, on the far left is a dwarf, and immediately beside him, also on the left, Trini is a gnome. With a sharp rap from her gavel onto the desk, a stern, dark-haired woman with deeply furrowed forehead and kind eyes brings the assembled crowd to a hush. She has dust-colored skin, she has swirled, tattooed-like rune markings on her cheeks, and she wears a brown cowl etched in runes as sort of, I wouldn't say nobility, but sort of a stately, if not office, attire, stating her position. I would say this woman is in her late 40s. No, sorry, early 40s. Welcome, neighbors and friends. The dark-haired woman begins, her rich voice booming over the room. To the Breachill Town Council's monthly call for heroes. I am Council President Greta Gardenia, at your service. On behalf of my colleagues beside me, and there's nods from the dwarf and the gnome, and then to the left. Now, they just sort of nod, and she acknowledges them, and, you know, the nameplate says it all, and the whole town knows them, so they just kind of get on with it. I promise you all that we will hear and consider today's petitions with the utmost discretion and care. There is no existence without community, and our town charter says just that. Today, our agenda includes one petition. Miss Warble, and she kind of points down front row, and little Miss Warble that you saw up front, kind of, you know, books scattered, dropping, oh crap, put them back on the seat, finally just kind of stuffs them where she was sitting, and just hands ringing, and her little white robes kind of like pulling out behind her, comes to the center of the room and addresses the council as loudly as she can. Esteemed councillors, it's been more than a month since I've been able to contact the Brumble Bashers. I fear that something terrible has befallen them. What's more, I have seen my people's distress signal coming from the top of Alderaan. Just then, right at the top left, if you note on the map here, ladies and gentlemen, there's a door, and through it crashes a man. And with him comes billowing smoke and fire. Poor Warble can't even finish her petition. Fire! There's a fire! Everyone flee! And pandemonium erupts. For a well-ordered town, calm morning, and everyone seemed to be so polite. These people, and I am not understating this, literally freak out and start stampeding over one another and the benches, which is now difficult terrain, ladies and gentlemen, towards the south exit. As you would expect, council member president stands up and tries to call for order, and they all 5 of them join in asking people to be calm, but it seems to have relatively no effect, and we switch into encounter mode as round 1. Let's just say, because we were attending a meeting, you guys were basically listening and using perception. Can I have perception checks, which we will take as initiative, and I will call up the combat tracker. Bum, 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 bum. Now again, this is something that the players only have certain privy to as I reveal things to them. But as you can see, the players will be in green. Neutral people, such as Dahlgren Truseer, who is part of the setting, is in yellow. And any hazard, well, I don't know, like the fire that's billowing out through this doorway, and any creatures that might come upon them are highlighted in red. We have their initiative rolls, hit points, and everything, all very handy here. And a little target meter, which we will get into soon, where you can actually place a target over another miniature. And then all your attacks, all your skills, everything that you roll in the chat box will be specifically geared to that miniature, which has its own stats, and will instantly affect it right here in the tracking combat chart, which personally I think is the coolest thing, and one of the main reasons I switched over to Fantasy Grounds. So, with me doing a big jostle of trying to show rolls and trying to show the combat and still, you know, relatively show the map. Gentlemen, let's start with Theowen. What did you get?
I got a 19.
Okay, I'm just gonna.
And then I don't see the map. I just see a blank Pathfinder plaque.
How about now? How about now?
That's better.
There we go. It's loading.
Okay.
Yay.
Sorry, I showed the world. I didn't show my players. I had to sort of right-click and do the sharing happy face and sort of show it to them. As it were. My bad. Still learning, but this is really fun and intuitive, as Ryan likes to constantly show it to me. So, Ulbrich, what'd you get?
I got a 19 as well.
All right. And Mara of Desna.
I got a 14.
Okay. And Dahlgren, True Seeker. Don't see him in here. Perception? Rob?
A natural 18.
Okay. And I am going to set our last, shall we say, patron, but we'll get back to that. So, starting at the top, we have round 1, which I'm just going to place right in here. And starting with Moros Anvilbender. Down the bottom here, we have a flag. I have an arrow where I can start bringing things down. Like I said before, happy green faces are friendlies to the party, red not so much, and we will move down. However, just because you and I can see the combat tracker does not necessarily mean that the party is aware, but I will try to do some sort of quick shifting here. On Moros' turn, his miniature actually lights up. So not only is he green and happy, and the little health bar being green, we have a white circle on him. So, Mr. Anvilbender, with a 25, what do you do? 3 actions. Break him down for me.
I contemplate on the inside saying, I don't think that's supposed to be happening. This whole place is made out of timber. It's going to burn down like a... Was there a well on the way in?
Knowledge
There's
social?
a river.
There's 4 water towers outside.
Well.
Yeah, what was that?
There's 4 water towers outside, gentlemen.
6, actually, yeah.
Oh, 6, sorry.
6 water towers and a river just outside the door, and you guys are all kind of going, huh, what shall we do? What do you do?
All right, I'm going to move up to see how bad this fire really is.
Okay. So, people coming at you, and like the actual benches being difficult terrain.
Yep.
Which I believe Mr. Gibson is basically halves your movement, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that is correct, sir.
Okay.
Can I athletics it to be not as bad?
Yeah, athletics for climbing, acrobatics for, dodgy dodge. Anyway, you have the jump, even on the people. Which,
yes.
They all jump up and start freaking out, moving around, and you have your quick contemplation,
Good
and off
eye.
you go. So
These are like church pews?
Yep.
All right, could I just like hop on top of the one that's in front of me and like run across it like you did when on the monkey bars when you were a kid?
Oh, you want to go top of the back seat, top of the back seat, top of the back seat through the people?
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
That is my desire.
Okay, we're gonna call this jumping and balancing.
Okay.
So jumping, I believe, comes after athletics, and balancing comes under acrobatics.
Okay.
So since you're, I'm gonna go just with acrobatics because it leans more a little bit to that yeah, type of thing.
Yeah.
So
acrobatics roll.
Getting set up, and not exactly springing into action. You're contemplating, talking, burn in action. Now, some things are free actions, but I noticed even something like pointing things out. Like, hey, everybody, see the guy wearing camo up that tree? And everybody goes, what? Eh? I'll be mean enough to go, that isn't right. Fire. Hey, guys, where can we get water? And everyone's talking about it. So with one action burned, you have 2 left. Hopping up. Can I have 2 acrobatics checks? And each one will move you half your movement, which is 10 feet. And off you go.
Sure. So that's a 19.
Mm-hmm. And I'm assuming you want to move directly towards the fire?
Yes, straight line. If north is the top, that's the way I go.
Okay. Now, same rules apply in Ye Old Grid. Your first 5-foot square diagonally is 5. Your second one actually counts as 5-5, like a 10, and it goes back and forth like that. So if you want to go straight towards the council and then L shape through people, go ahead. You also have the option of just kind of skirting along to the left and then getting open ground and heading up the wall.
No, I wanted to go pretty much in a straight line north.
Okay. So the fire being on the top northwest corner, you want to head straight through up towards the council.
Yes.
Okay. So 19. 5, 10. Doing very well. An 8. The people see you coming, and you go 5 feet, and then they just block your path, and you're buggered. And you're now we get into critical fails, critical successes, right? Setting the DC, you haven't missed it by 10, so you've just kind of forced to stop and okay, go this way. Yeah, what? Okay, just picking them up, throw them behind you, that kind of thing. But you've kind of ended your turn right there. Okay. So, moving down our tracking list, we have something interesting happen. I got my little friend here, who pops up under a table. Dun, 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 dun. And I'll have a perception check from the lot of you. Now, this is not going to be easy. Like, chaos is, like you have a wall of 40 people coming towards the door. This tiny little thing that pops up under a pew and is just having a good old time. May not be so.
Not to interrupt your action, Jeff, but
Yes,
am I in the room?
You are, and when I get to you, I'll reveal you.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. Thanks.
Sorry.
20,
That's
not
fair.
natural.
I've got you in the bottom corner right, and in yellow. Seen it, done it, got your favorite spot, just let it play out. Don't want to necessarily influence the dwarves' decisions too much. You also know that the council won't call upon them as likely. It's not that you can hinder them, but you're not really doing them any favors by standing next to them and waving at the council, that kind of thing. It's like, hey, buddy, get me a job. You can talk to the boss, right? It's like, it's not really going to work out for you. You just go and give your resume on your own, that kind of thing. So I've got you down the bottom corner. Sorry. Perceptions.
20, not natural.
Okay. Mara?
I got it.
13 from Mara. Albert?
13 from Albert.
Thurian? Okay. I will say most of you unaware until I do something big, which I'm about to do. But yeah, Moros, you see this little dude dot out from under an actual pew. And
look at that wee little bugger.
He has red skin. He's barely 2 feet tall, little horns, and he has a little tiny head, buggy eyes, a little tiny body, but his jawline from under the ear, his actual mouth is really big and full of sharp teeth, and he huffs and puffs his little chest and puffs up his little cheeks.
So he's like little red evil stitches.
Something like that. And he spews fire. in a 15-foot cone. Let me spin this around here. Woo. Just at the pews in front of them, towards the council, freaking people out and just starting a brand new fire. Everyone who gets over 12 notices, this sudden eruption of fire from the front because it's in the middle of the room. Other than that, that's me. I'm good. And moving on to... Now, we just did Maros. Why did you move in the... That's interesting. It resets your initiative from the 25 we had you to 20. I wonder if...
Because he made a perception check, and I think that might have moved him.
Well, I hadn't set anything up for that. Anyway, we'll put you back to... Oops. Put you back to 25.
525.
Yeah. There's no moving him now. Moving on, learn as we go. This is fun. Albrecht, you're up. Theon,
Right.
you're on deck. What do you want to do?
So did I see the flame go? Obviously I did, right? It's right in front of me.
Yeah.
Are there any loose, unattended objects sitting around? A doorstep, lantern, somebody's book.
The space is pretty sparse. There's likely something, but I'm going to have you make a perception check and delay action to, or spend an action to, seek it out. It's got to be something
to
better,
find it.
Yeah.
Right. It's probably a good idea anyways.
And hopefully you won't jump around either. Go, Elbrick.
Haha. A 21.
Okay. There are pamphlets, agenda, council, meeting to order type of things. That have been written down, papers that have been left here, food, junk bits, that kind of thing. Just something's
Food, you see.
Something's been missed from cleaning, half a ration. There was a little bit of a pamphlet left over, at your feet under a pew, that kind of thing.
And the thing that might hurt if someone was to get struck by it.
Oh, this is a week-old ration. It's like a hard rock.
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
Keep that in mind, and I will move myself past the urn out into the central hall.
Yep, 10 feet out.
That's it.
Okay, so you take a partial stride 10 feet out. You've burned some looking around, and...
That's all I'm going to do for now.
Okay, and you're happy and good. Next we have Theowen, Dahlgren, Trueseeker, you're on deck.
So something's afoot. I jump to my feet, and with a terrible perception roll, I assume the back of the pew in front of me is over my eyes, so it completely blocked it.
Okay.
So I make one move to there, and then I'll take a gander. What do I see? And make a new perception check.
Sure. So moving out, getting out in the open so you get trampled. People are coming towards you. A lot of them are just sort of diagonally jumping over pews. Some are that are closer to the inside of the aisle, going the long way, coming out the aisle and coming towards you. And I will move this horde very shortly. With your perception of...
Nope. I got a 10.
Okay.
All I can see is belt buckles.
No.
Out of the way!
You see people storming towards you. However, the fire, the gout that is finished, has sort of set aflame an actual part of the pew in front of me here. We have a brand new fire that we're going to deal with. So these pins here that I can see, that the audience can see, that no one else can see, these are great markers that have been pinned to the map by Fantasy Grounds, and they directly correlate into these pop-ups, which allow me to endanger spectators, rescuing people, blah, 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 things that are going on. Encounter. Oh, here we go. Pull up the counter. Yep, there's our fireman. Wonderful. The hazard. Here we are. Here's our fire. So I'm going to take a hazard token, and I'm going to drop it, doink, right in front of him. And this little token here that says hazard represents 5 foot square, which is now on fire. Instead of me constantly spamming fire effects. Theon, the fire in front of you, as people are trying to actually get around it, suddenly notice it, is obvious to you. The council members are on their feet, trying to calm people down. The horde is coming towards you. I believe you still have an action left. What do you want to do?
Well, I'm gonna move towards the fire.
Okay. Joe,
Me and fire go.
Sorry,
Me and fire go way back. So
Joe, correct me if I'm wrong. Seeking like a basic perception is still a chevron, like a single action, is it not?
Yes.
Yeah.
Still one action.
Okay, thank you.
yeah.
Right.
So
So
I have one movement left.
Yep.
So 5, 10, 15, 20.
head on up.
Just a little bit closer.
Okay. Dahlgren. Almost, waiting till it's over, feet up on the thing, leaning back, droop red, kind of asleep. You know how this goes. Big winded problem. Somebody goes, I'm your guy. That kind of thing. Yes, money's haggle, so many silver, done. The interesting thing really comes later, where you could offer your services, your lore. You get a feel for the adventurers. You slide in there, as you have so many months before, offer them some of your knowledge, that kind of thing. Let them go off. Let half of them get killed. Come back, offer a heal. This is a cycle. This is what you do.
It's the power of the story.
But today, what? Fire, smoke, what? People from trampling, you would be if you hadn't been down in this bottom right corner here, trampled. Everyone's heading away from you diagonally towards the door, thank God. But you are, disturbed from your inner musings, and what do you do?
My reverie.
Yeah. What do you do?
I'll move closer.
20-foot move as a dwarf per Cheryl.
Directly towards the halfling, towards Mara.
Okay. So 5, 10, 15, 20 is 1. 5, 10, 15, 20. Sorry, I think I buggered that. Heading towards the halfling, who is yet to, who wide-eyed looking around. Let's say burning in action for you just because you were distracted. Get yourself up and going. Da-da-da-da.
That leaves me with. Is that all 3 actions?
Yeah, I'm going to say so. Like I said, we kind of had you in almost sleep mode.
Yeah, that's why I said, in the corner watching. I was like, I didn't get the roll there.
Mara of Desna, you are up.
Right. So I'm going to stand on my pew and, calm people down. Desna's, with us. Please, everybody calm and quietly. Calmly walk towards the exit and, just try to keep people calm.
Okay. As I believe this is an official, how do you call it? An action that you can do to help in this situation. A lot more of it's going to become relevant of how helpful you can be. But since we're at the top of round 1, you take the stance of the council, get up and just this way, don't push, that type of thing, right? Try not to get trampled yourself. Get back! I have a star knife, that kind of thing, just in case. And I will say that the 2 people adjacent to you, do just that. They stop trampling and they just kind of okay, and walk orderly. Maybe get trampled themselves. Next up, the environmental hazard itself. Lovely. Fire. How's fire work in this game? Well, I'll tell you. First of all, I am going to spread because, well, that's what I do when I'm not attended. And I will spread to 1/2 squares that I've already affected, -1. So since this fire is occupying a single square, we're going to pull up, not the fire method, we're going to pull up more hazards. We're going to pull up more fire. I got to leave this up here. Put our fire down here. More fire just spreads, let's say this spreads right along the pew here. And that spreads. And joy, oh joy, this fire up top here actually bursts through into a 10 by 10 area. And because it's 10 by 10, because it's 4 squares, half of that would be 2 more. I'm going to just turn this sucker clockwise. Like our monk was saying, this place is made of wood. And the fire starts sort of licking the doorway, spreading out along the walls in each direction. Next, Suddenly, another perception check is called for. Call them out as soon as you see them, guys.
24.
12.
And Theon got a 10 again. All I see is belt buckles.
The power of 2.
All right. This works well for the story. Mara, as you're directing people towards the door, you and you alone, these people on this initiative right now, so as I begin stampeding, pardon me, out of the way, just people just start flying towards the door. They start trampling each other over the pews, much panic, just start bringing people en masse here. You notice people are falling over themselves and falling down and, getting trapped in between the pews or whatever. And just as they get out into the main corridor part of the chamber here, okay, on the same initiative as the surging mass, the doors fly open, and just for a moment you catch a diminutive figure with a Judge Dredd style metal helm visor down and a wide green grin and the man bun goblin ears tied up poking through the back of the helmet, with a dashing but ragged and jagged torn at the bottom cape, wearing studded leather, kicking the door open, presenting himself, puffing out his little chest like he's about to make some sort of big announcement.
People, this way!
And immediately gets trampled and disappears as the crowd. I'm here to solve your problems, the little goblin, and just whoosh, just completely gets mowed. And no one but the halfling saw it. We'd like to thank Joe Gibson. Thank you. Good night. You can leave now. 2-second cameo, and you can stay on as rules lawyer. The scene becomes rather chaotic. And now I get to show you guys, actually, not the town. Unfortunately, it says image. It's not showing me the actual... Yep, not that one, not that one. Oh, come on now. Not that one. That's great. As soon as I find it. There we go. A great shot of the iconic elven rogue hand vaulting over a pew, dagger in hand, as fire ensues. And in the foreground, we have our little Menfit. Rippling muscles, tiny little hand claws, little bat wings. His hair's aflame, his eyes glow. He has the classic hooked goblin nose, a oversized jowl, chin, neck, little pointed ears. He is aflame, skirts along his wings, his little chest ribs pushing sort of mimetically against his ribs and glowing inside, and he's merely grasping a curtain, and all about him is blaze. And as you can see, scared people fleeing in the background, and that is the scene as we round into round 2. And again, Maros just seems to be locked into anything you roll, just moves him around the keep trying to shift him there. I've obviously overlooked something. This is on me. Anyway, Maros.
I'm wiry. It's not your fault.
Yes. What do you want to do?
Hey, I got the bead. I want to carry through. Keep running.
Okay, let's have it again.
Yeah.
I'm gonna up the DC a little bit because now you're trying to clamber over people that are in your way.
Yes.
But
so,
it won't stop your movement. It just makes it a little harder.
Acrobatics.
Yep.
Skadoosh. 24.
Yep. 5, 10. And again.
Yes. 13.
And a little bit of a slowdown there. Cannot proceed. And your third.
19.
5, 10. And some progress. A little bit waylaid. The fire is spreading along a pew that is ahead of you. You're about to jump on. Now the fire is a good 10 feet away on the end of that pew, but you become well aware of fire on this next pew to your right. 2 pews left before you get to the front opening, which has the raised dais stage of a 10-foot drop back into. Like this stage, or this up 10 feet up in the air, this massive backdrop stage, what holds the council members, is quite large. I mean, their desks are 15 feet long. It's quite lovely. Anyway, they themselves, however, are on the move. I should also add, clamoring over, calling for order. You know, the people are running off, just hurting themselves and everything in their way. And to their credit, the counselors are trying to help. Guards let in somebody and immediately get trampled outside. We remember they're there, but there's not much they can do with people like flooding through that doorway at the moment. Our little elemental goes running off. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Now let's just have a look at our little dude here. Because again, hit the pin. That's where the encounter is. You pull up a little sheet here on him, and you can click on him, and poof! Ladies and gentlemen, for you and I to muse over. His initiative, his level, going through armor class, good to know. Ooh, look at that. Oh, so I'm interested. Can you see this at home? No? Maybe. Abilities, immunities, weaknesses, and my speed. He jumps into the air, takes flight, and as I was saying, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 is 1, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 is 2, and the diagonals, which I've picked up, I think is probably 30 to 35 feet. So a triple move for 75, I'm at, let's say 30, 40, so 5, 10, next one. I'm going to land him here, because I think I've already fudged the a little bit. But luckily no spewing gout of flame. He's just on the move, heading off in a random direction. And we'll just tuck this guy down here for shits and giggles and the fun that is ensuing. Are we having a good time? Elbrick, you are up, sir. Theowen, you are on deck. What do you do?
Right then. Oh, there he goes! Get him! And I'll make my way up to where Theowen is.
Okay. So straight up 5, 10, 15, 20 puts you next to your ally.
Yep. And can I begin casting this round a spell that will end at the beginning of my next?
That is a good question. You want to burn your last 2 actions, or chevrons as it were, to start a triple?
Oh, I have 2 chevrons. That's right.
Yeah.
I can do
2 actions.
this.
Sorry. The symbol in the book is sort of an arrowhead chevron to the right, and when we did the playtest back in the day, we just started calling them. How many chevrons do you got left? And it's kind of stuck in our head. Sorry. So yeah, is this a verbal spell?
right.
Costs you 1 action. Verbal somatic boots in the second, and materials your third. Now you've moved once. You got 2 actions left.
All right. So I'll lay my hand on Theowen's axe.
Okay.
Say, let me help you out, cousin. And I will cast magic weapon upon his axe.
Ooh.
Ah!
Because to a dwarf that is divine, even though you're using arcane magic. All right. So I'm going to scoot up while you're, looking to tell us all these wonderful things. I'm going to see, just for those that have bothered to tune in, the exciting part of, here we go, down at actions, we have your spells, and you're casting magic weapon, which we're going to poof up. Somatic and verbal, arcane, divine, it's a touch spell, 1 magical weapon, untended wielded by you, and it lasts a minute. And what's it going to do?
It is going to make the weapon glimmer with magic and energy. The target becomes a +1 striking weapon, gaining a +1 item bonus to attack rolls, and increasing the number of weapon damage dice to 2.
Ooh.
That's beefy.
Now, if you don't want to remember this, or have a player going, great, I get to pick up 2 dice, there is something really, really cool. So that ends your turn?
That ends my turn.
And while I adjust Theon's character sheet automatically, Theon, why don't you tell us what you're going to do while I distract people with doing something really cool, going right into your great axe and giving it a bonus. I think we'll put it right here. Little in the bonus, little temporary +1 for now. And
So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to try to move up and see if I can get within attack range.
Okay.
So I will spend 1 move action.
Okay.
5, 10, 15, 20.
Hang on, let's move your guy away. I don't want to miss this. We don't want to miss the action. I've got the board covered. Oh, he's on the move. Okay, he's up here. Yep. And
So when I get there, I'd like to activate my fighter feat charge.
your fighter feat what?
It's called sudden charge.
Okay.
Make a double movement. If I'm within attack range, I get 1 attack.
Okay.
So that would be 5,
Yep.
10, 15, 20.
Okay. Now you're instantly in difficult terrain. Can you charge through difficult terrain, Joe?
Well,
Because as soon as you hit those pews.
Well, I don't want to jump onto the pew. I want to go around it.
Oh, I see.
It's
You're skirting that whole. Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine. No, that's fine.
Yeah. I just like sloppily drug my token.
No.
So
I got
20.
you. That's legit. We'll say
5.
that the internal of the.
So I should be able to get to there
Okay.
with 40 feet of movement,
Okay.
and then that allows me a single strike.
Yep. Now I did say he landed. Like he was flying around and kind of alit on the pew, so he's in striking distance. He's not like he's 10 feet up in the air. And watch this. Okay, so going into his great axe in the action tab here, I'm gonna pull up a little tennis racket here. You'll see an actual dice. Looks like a little black rock here, but it is the 12-sided dice. And by doubling the dice, I can just pick up one of my 12-sided, dump it in here. Now we see 2, and huzzah! When he rolls, hopefully we'll see great things. So have a go there, Theon.
Okay, let me try to roll here. Clicky, clicky. I got a 17.
All right.
That's not counting any magic bonus, though, so I think it should be 18.
Yeah, it should be 18, unless it factored that in.
I put the bonus in there, yeah. Oh, you know what? I didn't put it to damage. So while I'm thinking of this,
Well, I have a plus 9 to hit with the first attack and 8 on the die roll. That's 17 plus 1 should be 18. So I don't think it factored correctly.
okay. So really quickly here, also I can pull him up from this sheet. Total of 18, did you say? To hit?
Yes, 18.
Yes, that does strike the little dude. Now, we're going to do something manually, and I'm going to show you guys how this awesomely works in automatic. We're talking about targeting. So he runs up, and not wasting a perfectly good attack roll, you attack with your great axe, as it says down here in the chat. You get your bonuses. I say you hit him. Good for you. And damage, sir?
All right, so it is 1 die 12 plus 5, counting the magic.
Actually, it's 2 dice, because his spell doubles your dice, does it not?
That I don't know.
It does double your
It does.
dice.
Now, Frank's rolling raw dice, but you can actually go into your great axe and click on the actual where it says your damage, and it'll put in what I put for you there. We'll take what you got here. 2 3s.
Yep, so that would be 6 plus 4 is 10.
All right. Now, instead of his current hit points showing up here in green, as you can see in the screen, I don't take those down. What I do is I go over to wounds here, and I positively put in the integer of the wound. So you get a total of what, sir? Total damage was what?
I did 10 points.
10 points. 10 goes in, and it comes up red and knocks me on my butt. Drops me down really badly, but not enough to change my status as of yet. So that's me slicing into the little fiery dude with your big axe, and he, sidesteps you. A big ichor of black gash comes right down his left side and right into the pew, wedging your axe momentarily as you retrieve it. And it is now Theon Dolgan Truthseeker's turn. Mara, you are on deck. Also notice when I shifted to him, it actually moved the map so we can see him better. Isn't that cool?
Okay. Bear with me, I'm just checking a couple things on the character.
Mm-hmm.
Go, Dahlgren. There you are. Where is it most likely for these people to start, like, sorry, let me rephrase that. How crowded is the doorway now?
It's not a great representation with minis. Okay, it takes more than a single round for them to get to the door.
Yeah.
But we've got, in round 2, you have 40 people on the move. So
Gotcha.
a couple of people in the back are at the door. Goblin got ran over by like 4 or 5 people. A bunch more from the very back are gaining ground, tumbling over. Some are lagging behind. Some in the middle of got to the front. And like I said, it's just chaos
Gotcha.
of people overlaying people in 5s and 10s and 15s. Some are falling in between the pews. Some are making good ground. Some are just ignoring. Some are helping their cousin, that type of thing. It's just nuts. But I could say that the masses on whole are still sort of where they are and still
Gotcha.
like trampling to the door. You are in danger because you've moved into their path, as you can see here.
That was going to be my next question.
Yeah.
I would like to move
Up, down.
to the middle of the alley, to the middle of the walkway there.
Okay.
And that should take me 5, 10, 15, 20. Should put me go up 3 and over 1. Because I'm moving diagonally.
Mm-hmm.
That should leave me 1 action. And over 1. Because I'm moving diagonally.
Mm-hmm.
That should leave me 1 action. And
Okay.
I'm going to use that to... Where is it? I just had the spell. I just lost the spell. There it is. And I'm going to cast... it's within 5, 10, 15, 20... I should be able to cast Guidance on Theowen from here. It's a cantrip, so I can... It's within 30 feet.
Okay. Now, is that because of your reach spell skill feat? Is it normally a touch
No,
spell?
it's actually range 30 feet.
Okay. So pulling up an actual, where are we here? I want to get a pointer. So right click on the center of the map, go up to left here. I want a pointer. You click on the actual pointer. I want an arrow. And whoop, that just moves you again. Come on, give me a pointer here, boys. There we go. So from you, 35 to get to him, and that's not even on you.
Ah, damn, not quite. I thought I counted it.
Not quite so, sir.
I thought I counted it right. And what that will do is going to give him a +1 stat bonus to either an attack roll, perception check, saving throw, or skill check.
Okay.
My presumption he'll use it for combat.
All right. Well, you can get into it next round. Now you've moved twice. Do you want to finish with more movement so you're right on top of it? Because you still have an action left. You might as well. You want to just move movement to get closer?
I thought that I lost a movement for going over the pew because I would have had to go. Oh wait, I can pass through her. My apologies.
That's right. You are in
Yeah.
here. You're a difficult terrain.
Yeah.
I had you 10 feet away, right? But
I was,
every move is double. I forgot about that. So starting you here, that's not 5. That's 10. That's
10?
20. Yep. As long as you're within the cube of the pews, because
I'm
people
just trying to get a clear line to Theowen. That's all I'm trying to do.
Yeah. 5, 10. Well, you could try the acrobatic thing, but again, it's going to be nuts. 5, 10. Oh, sorry, 20. And then we go, that's 1. And we go 5, 10, 15, 20 is 2. Then you go 5, 10, 15, 20 is 3. I think either way you cut it, you got to spend this round just maneuvering.
Okay, I'll spend the round maneuvering then.
Okay.
That's
Because
better.
they pretty much state in the books, if you were contained, like, see how this is a row of pews on each side of the room?
Yep.
Okay. Within the actual square, the proverbial invisible square, it's difficult terrain because the pews are tight and
Yep.
there's people flooding them and, the whole bit. So
No problem.
now we let Theon get away with the charge because he was at the front,
That's
front
right, he
end,
came
so
across.
he's good. Okay. So that's you, sir. Next we have Mara. And then the fire will go. Then the Fire Nation attacks. What do you want to do, Mara?
So I would like to move to here.
Okay.
Okay, and then I want to use my sling staff to hit the fire guy.
Okay. So 10, 20. The best you can do is actually here. Because
That's fine. I can
now-
still hit him.
now you can hit him with a single attack, right? So basically it's just a double move.
Mm-hmm.
So if
Okay.
you want to line yourself up as best you can.
Sure. I didn't want to hit the other people. So.
Yep. Now, they've decreased the shield bonus. It's no longer +4 when you shoot through people. It's only +1 to your opponent when you can shoot through people, which is great for archers and stuff that hated. I know you specifically playing back in the day, as there was, everyone rushes in and the archer's back there going, great, all my allies are giving cover, +4, +4, +4 shield bonus to the bad guy. Now it's only a +1, so it's still relevant, but not as bad. Okay, love this sling staff. Go.
Okay, 1 sec.
Attacks with a sling staff.
15.
Oh, we keep forgetting to do targeting.
Whoops.
It's fine. It's fine. 15, unfortunately, does not hit. He's
Okay.
just too small and bouncy.
All right.
Okay.
Mhm.
And that's you. So let's say, can I assume you're going to do this next round?
Yes.
Okay. So if we were to pick Miss Desna here and pull up our tracker, okay, you see this symbol here for targets. I can open this up. I can take a target and I can drag this target, see now it's hovering, right over to our elemental. It not only gives her intent and range of 40 feet on the board, when she attacks, it'll say, I attack and miss, or it'll actually say I attack, and when she does damage, it'll automatically take it out of his hit points by wounding him right in the tracker for me, which, well, personally, I think that's very, very cool. Now, back to the fire. It's the fire's turn. Well, the funny thing about fire, besides it spreading, is it has a source. And we do not know where this source is, but I'm going to spread this fire. All right. Now, without necessarily dropping dozens of tokens. Oh, why not? I mean, that's what it's here for. Fire, right? You got this hazard token, this hazard token, and we're just spamming the hazard tokens. There's a little 10-foot beginning. As I said earlier, that 4 gave me half. A 4 is 2, so I went 2 in every direction. Now I have 6 this round, and I get 3 in any direction, so I'm going to go this way, and I'm going to go that way. Now I have to spam adjacently, so I'm just going to kind of head out into the open. That's that fire. Then we have the fire on the pew. 2.5 is 1. I get to go anywhere I want, and now it does say it follows consumables, so I'm just going to burn up this pew here. That's great. But what's this on the fire's turn? Oh no. Oh yes. I mean, you all saw it there, except for the players. Boom! The back 10-foot door behind President Counselor's desk bursts open, and a gout of 10-foot flame enters the room from the north side. Smoke seriously gushing into the room now. Inhalation, gentlemen, is inevitable, and we go to little Ook. Ook, Festering Tooth Wayfinder, is a man who's not really known in this town. A goblin champion. Leads a double life. By day, a dentist, a tradesman, someone who wears an apron, perhaps? But when called upon, seeing his chance to shine, presenting himself possibly as a different identity with a helmet that hides him, revealing his true nature this month to the council, but those plans are dashed as he is literally being trampled by a hazard. I am going to have 5 people attack your reflex save, sir.
Fair enough.
If I'm doing this right. And as you basically get pushed aside, pushed back, and just out of the way. Because of your small size, you don't necessarily get knocked down. They just want you, they're not like, they're not intending to hurt each other. People are tripping and falling themselves amongst the pews in their own frantic scrabble, and other people are just kind of passing them over. It's not like grab the guy's collar in front of you and pull him behind you for some kind of leverage. That's the monk's job. No. These people are not being polite. They just surge forward and you're like, getting battered and pushed around. But unfortunately, as long as these people are exiting the room, there is not much you can do to get inside.
Fair enough, then.
And he waits for another opportunity. Back to the top. Muros Anvilbender, the monk.
Haha.
What do you do, sir? Fire bounds.
Yes. And Evil Stitches has moved off to the east.
Yes. Theon seems to have things in hand.
Or an axe.
Aha.
Aha.
Glimmering with magical energy, I might add.
Holy magical energy and an axe. Respected. What's going on with the citizenry in front of me?
So they are still surging. I can only do so much surging per round because difficult terrain, and our movement is like 30 cut to 15, and it's still, it's meant to be chaotic and in your way for like they don't just clear out in 2 rounds, that kind of thing. So unfortunately, they're abound. Now, to the council's credit, they're trying to help, and even our little halfling, is trying in the back. And you even notice, obviously, our dwarven townsfolk, Dahlgren, moving towards the action. No one seems to be doing anything about the fire. Oh, what's that? No, fires, plural, themselves.
Well, I'm beside that one there. Is it a completely raging inferno, or would it stand a chance of trying to tamp it?
You can, using a cloak to try and tamp a square is an actual legit action for putting out a fire. And it is the closest fire. This is the smallest fire, but I would say it's the most immediate danger because there are people between it, or it is between people and the exit.
Yes, that's what my thoughts were.
Okay, so you want to move up?
Yes, I would like to take a step.
Okay.
To there.
Mm-hmm. Get closer.
Yes, gets to closer. And then I would like to attempt to tamp the fire down.
Okay. With what?
I have an amazing scarf.
Okay.
And it folds right out.
Okay. So the scarf Mom knitted for you. By the way, hi Mom. Watching tonight at home. Look, Mom on TV. Finally. Yeah, it's not embarrassing. I had to do it. Unraveling the, clan colored,
it's very anime, the disrobe of it.
Yeah. You just bring your hands up under your neck and just push out, and it just unravels by its own.
Yeah. Freezes in midair for 2 seconds.
It's folded sideways and gets very wide. All right. I'll give it to you.
And what do I roll for that action?
To put out the fire?
Yeah. What's the put out the fire skill?
I would guess a flat check of some sort.
I do have it here. So while he's tamping away, and we'll get back to those rolls, I'm going to have our little fire buddy here turn his attention, now that he's being attacked directly by Theon, not be very impressed by you, and come at you. Springing towards you, his mouth opens a little bit too wide and chomping his jaws towards you. And as we'll demonstrate here, I will hit the target. I will pull the actual drag on to new targets. I will target Theon, like so. And then down here in the actual combat tracker, I don't know what you guys have as players at the moment, but if you have your actual attacks and melees listed, if you hover your cursor right over top of the attack and double click, it should fire it right up into, boop, dice go flying, and it says attack of 19 at Theon hits. Haha. And then I can just hover over the damage part, and his flaming little maw does 2 points of damage. 1 point for the teeth, 1 point for the heat fire that's coming forth from me, or because I'm actually on fire myself and touching you. So you take 2 points, 1 fire damage, and 1 piercing damage.
I take 1 point less because I seem to be a bit inured to flame, as if it doesn't burn as deeply as it should.
Ooh. Hinting once again at a certain ancestry, no doubt. All right. I shall remove these 2 wounds and make them a single one. And you're good. Anyway, I attack you once. Now, I believe this little bugger, like anybody else, can just like flail away. But I don't see sort of like the multi-attack that the regular character sheets have. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So the modifier for attacking more than once, I believe, is -5. If it's a finesse weapon, it's -4. So if I just crank myself into the bottom left of the fantasy grounds here, there's an actual stand-up, I can just give myself a mod of -4. So that when I click on the Jaws again, Jaws of Death, it should automatically give him attack. Jaws -4, 19 plus 5 for everything else, 24, and hits you again, sir. And again, we have the piercing for 1 and fire for 2. But this is where you tell us how awesomely fire resistant you are again.
1 point of fire resistance.
Okay. So instead of 3 points total, you take 2 for a total of 3 wounds. All right. And I'm going to get in my 2 bites and then just try to take to the air, fly away, fly up, straight up.
I believe provokes an attack of opportunity.
It does, but only against certain character classes because they've ditched attack of opportunity to sort of speed up combat.
Do you have the feat?
Oh,
I have the class skill, attack of opportunity.
you do. Oh,
I do.
well, what do I socially know about dwarves? Not much. So, he just chomp and then tries to flit away, provoking. Set attack. Now, hang on, before you roll anything there, Theon.
If I can...
What I want to do here is I want to pull up your target, and I'm going to have you target him. So now, anything you roll, even better if you actually pull up your character sheet instead of rolling raw dice, it'll say, attack 13, small elemental is a miss. But, and
that'd be a 13.
Yeah.
I missed.
It'd be a 14 actually, because you're still under the effects of the magical spell.
Oh, I've got, if he's using the actual axe, I actually gave him a +1.
Oh, okay.
Like it should be right as long as he goes to the combat action thing and click on the little gold dice. That's here. Let me just show everybody. So
the curse of bad dice follows Theowen.
Yep, right here, the little +9 one. You click on that sucker, and we've plugged it in. And then you can just erase it. You can just delete it and go back to normal for as long as the spell lasts. This combat does last a while. Pretty cool. So that's me and you. And now I know better for next time. Elbrick, Stone Chugger, you are up, sir. Theowen, it is actually your turn. Now, I have a question for our rules lawyer. Does an attack of opportunity delay any action or cost any action into the next round? Are they that cruel?
No,
Okay.
it does not.
There's certain things down the road where you can hold and push over, and it's like, you can do this now, like a reaction, but then it burns movement later, that type of thing.
Yeah, but it is a nice reaction because even if you do, say, multiple attacks in your round, then when you do your attack of opportunity, you don't get any penalties.
Oh, so it's at your primary attack, as it were.
Yes.
Very cool. Little goblin sticking his head in. The more you know. Okay, awesome. So, getting back to Ulbrich.
I will also attempt to help put out this fire, so I'll remove my cloak and walk up and start tamping the fire from the other side.
Okay. I'm trying to find a spot for this. Maybe I can put this high to get used to the an old shout out to an old gaming buddy of ours. Josh Doxson is impressed that we managed to rope Joe Gibson into this.
That's funny.
He texts me directly. He's not going to put it in the game chat. He's just invisible.
That's awesome.
What is very awesome, ladies and gentlemen, is Josh played our resident dwarf. He was always a dwarf or a minotaur. And that was, so I think he's very happy that you guys went with a dwarven party. God forbid you should play a bunch of different races so we can showcase. No, we're going to showcase the forge dwarf, the rock dwarf.
Hey, I'm an halfling.
Yes, we're getting to you. Bottom of the initiative. Ulbrich, Stonecutter.
But am I really a dwarf?
You're a halfling at heart, aren't you?
No, I'm really a dwarf. But anyways, yeah, so I'll move up to the fire, remove my cloak, and start tamping it from the other side.
Okay.
Is there a roll or anything? Did you get that sorted?
No, I'm busy running the show. I asked a week ago. I was like, Rob, Joe, look up fire while I'm reading this adventure. No, one thing I actually do like about the Age of Ashes book 1 is they streamline a lot of stuff. And then when I get to this hazard here saying Town Hall Hazard Fire gives me its stealth, its initiative, it talks about many different ways that you guys can actually put it out. Instead of having to go to the core book and look up a bunch of stuff, it's right here in the adventure.
That's cool.
Talking about different spells, a bucket of water, a water skin.
Good job, Paizo.
Yeah, it doesn't even say. It even says what it's like. Good luck with this, and let them try. What's your squirting out your water skin or whatever? What spells work, what do not, that kind of thing. And beating it with its control of fire. Find a barricade, that type of thing, or use a cloak to beat it out. So to stamp away at this thing. You spend actions and you take a 5 foot square at a time. Stamp, that kind of thing, and put it out, and then move to the next kind of. You follow me?
Yep. That was my assumption.
Yeah. Now you didn't need to move. What about readying things like disrobing, Joe? Is there single into that or
single?
Yeah. So I'm thinking more than one. Maybe two to stamp away, and the third being burned. You guys are just having a good stamp, and as long as you attend the fire, you can keep it from spreading, if not quash. So when we get to its turn, I will, delete what you guys quashed, as it were.
Okay.
Because you're spending your part of the entire turn quashing.
Right. Yeah. That's. I assume
if
that
you had a
would be...
spell and could make it vanish, I'd take it on your turn. But if you're gonna stamp,
I don't have that specific spell ready.
Okay, that's fine.
And if you want, you could do a flat check for the characters.
Yeah.
You setting the DC of whatever you want to set the DC at,
mm-hmm.
and then they roll raw. So on a success, obviously it's a success, critical success, and failure, and critical failure.
Well, I'll tell you this. Getting adjacent to a fire, and in the fire, you take damage on my turn. So when we get to my turn, if you're beside it, which you are, and especially interacting with it, you're going to take D6 damage, boys, because it's hot and it's flaming, and you're reaching into it. It's like messing with a campfire. If you stand in the hazard square, you're going to take 4d6 damage. It is nasty. But you do get reflex saves. Okay? So I'm going to say this fire here, if I call it up, let's say if it has like a reflex save, I can sort of have a look at here. Requires water typically. Yep. Do this, push this. I have no reflex. On its turn, it spreads. You guys take damage. DC reflex save is listed here. Chambers on and on and on, and it goes. Yeah. Okay. I'll tell you what. Give me a reflex yourself. You're actually, you know what? You're attacking it with let's say finesse, I would say.
Okay.
Using your dex or your strength, your choice. There's your raw what am I thinking here? Let's pull up a character sheet as an example. Let's pull up our monk who's already been at this at his part. And in combat section, you have the melee and ranged. Right? So he's stomping away with his scarf, like big overhanded flaps. He's going to get a +4 to attack this thing. With you, you're like whipping your cloak at it, kind of a fanning, beating down type of thing, more of a finesse. I'll let you guys choose to use your dex-based range or your melee.
I'll do dex.
You're whipping it, because even a whip, right? And attack it. And I will use its reflex DC to quaff it. Now, you guys will quaff by the end of the round. But if you can get a critical success by 10 over top of its reflex, I will give you critical, and you will, do very well and quaff extra, that kind of thing, as Joe was pushing for. Because I like it.
9.
I like it a lot. No!
Ooh.
Natural 20.
For 24, yes. Now, 20s in this are not automatic criticals. It's just 10 over the number. Am I correct on this, Joe? Sorry?
Oh, sorry. I don't mute myself there. But yeah, it's anything over 10 over the DC or whatever becomes a critical. But a natural 20 is still a success.
Yes.
Then you add all your modifiers.
Yeah.
And it can become a critical.
Yeah.
Success.
This is a nasty fire, and it's burning wood. And its reflex for you not to take damage, which is going to happen very soon, is 17. So I was looking for 27. Sort of be careful with your fire. Because you guys are literally playing with fire. Huh? See? No? Okay. Good try, though. Good try. Moving on. as you guys dance around here. We have Theowen, but for some reason it just jumped over Theowen. Dahlgren, you're on deck. Theowen.
All right. So how high is the method now?
Can I have that again there, Mr. Roboto?
I said, how high is the method?
The fire method? Now, here's something
Yeah.
interesting. I believe it's social now. You want to ID what this creature is?
No, I just want to know how high up it is.
Oh, okay.
Can I
The little
attack
fire
it?
burning dude. I have a 20-foot flight. So if I jump off and just try and fly up, now the ceiling in here is probably about 15 feet. So I'm not like right at the ceiling. I'm going to assume he's like 10 feet off the ground. So if you want to climb that pew and do an actual athletics jump, you know, because you actually have the leverage of the pew.
All
Kinda
right, I'll try that.
Like running, you know, the gymnasium thing, you know.
Yeah. I'll try to launch myself off a pew,
Now-
axe in hand, flying through the air.
I'm assuming movement is relevant. You can, if you have 20 feet move, can you just like back off 10 feet and then run at something at 10 and go, hey, up? You know, like that 10 back and 10 forward is a single move, is it not?
Yep.
You can 180 direction without, you know, it's not a charge.
I think counts.
Yeah, so you kind of like do the little run around. You like to do the little 5, 10, and you just kind of like, not 180, but just kind of like step onto the pew, right? 5,
Yeah,
which
just
counts
kind
as,
of bet.
yeah, 5, which counts as 10.
First foot on the seat.
Yeah, sure.
Second foot on the back, and then
Yep.
launch yourself up.
Oh. Why, this is rather
Yes.
heroic looking. Talking about hero points,
It is.
could you burn a hero point to get something
Let's see.
really nifty? I'm just trying to kill you later
You know?
because, you know, hero points I do know can like save your life, and that
Yeah, no,
that's
I'm
a
spend them
DM.
now.
Yeah, DMs. Yeah, spend it now. No, I'm not asking you to spend it. I'm curious, Mr. Gibson.
Yes, hero points can be used to add a bonus to an attack
Okay.
or skill check, but it's a very small bonus.
Could it recover from the natural one he just rolled, which is going to be a critical fail?
It could help, but critical fails are fun too.
Okay. Well, I'll let you know something.
Yeah.
If my AC, let's just pull a number out of the air, is 18, and you rolled an 8, that would be a critical fail. But it's not 18, so you're okay. And I do believe you can dump a hero point to like re-roll.
Well, this was like an athletics check. Did you ask for that?
Yeah, but a horrible athletics
Okay.
check, like you just wipe out, right? If you were lower, but let's just say you get up there and you just can't get it up. You can't up. It's having trouble.
Jump short.
Having trouble. Yeah,
Yes.
it just.
It does the whole
clamoring.
like the leap, and he's like, "I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna."
You know what actually happens? I'll tell you what. He goes up. He gets on the bottom. He puts a foot up on the top. And remember where I said the axe came down? It splinters and it just kind of gives a little bit, enough to screw up his jump. And now he's just kind of stuck there wobbling. So no up in the air.
If this pew had only been made,
A little stronger.
damn.
Uh,
So wait, that's 2 actions, right? Movement back, movement forward, plus an athletics check. I have 1 action left.
yeah. Now you wanted to attack. You can throw something at it, or you can just do some more movement. But since he's
I'm
out
not
of your
thro-
reach,
I'm not throwing my axe. That's just crazy.
okay. What do you want to do? Can you demoralize, intimidate in a single action, or does that take like all 3?
If I were better at demoralization, I might try it. But,
Okay.
but I ain't gonna.
Just standing there swearing.
I
you
don't know. If the power of my ends could.
I believe a hero point will allow you to like get you a bonus action, so you could like retry the jump, and then make a legit attack. I'd be willing to do that.
You'd be willing to do that?
Well,
Oh,
your
man, that's
internet
such a-
is jumpy as so. Why not the hero line? Just
Well, why not? Why not? Okay,
Yeah.
I'll do it. I'll spend a hero point.
spends a hero
Right
point.
now.
Just
Drum roll.
So still in the same action. Okay, we stop time. You know, there's Dahlgren. Oh, that's not what really happened. Rewinds. You guys ever play the first Prince of Persia? That's not how it happened.
Yeah.
Back about right.
That's not
He
athletics.
he
Okay,
goes
so
up. He
here-
steps on the back of it, and it starts to give. And he sees, so he just pushes his weight harder on the opposite leg, and just kind of has to go up sideways, a little bit of a corkscrew spiral, trusting, you know. Whoa.
Yeah.
And
14 athletics.
yes, up in the air he goes.
Yeah. I will make a chop.
Make with the chop. Click on the little gold dice.
23.
Yep. At small elemental. Hit! Now, if you click on the actual damage box that denotes your damage, it should bring up the double d12s for you. Ha-ha!
13 points.
Ouch! Funny, he goes, corkscrew, and just right takes from the hips and legs down, and the top is flapping, and he doesn't even realize he's dead yet. Little red black guts pop out the bottom as the guy's pelvis and legs just splatter right on that spot, kind of get wedged right where you let the bench go. And this thing just kind of flip in the air, and then just does that. You ever throw those paper planes as a kid, and it goes straight up in a U and comes straight down in the dirt real fast, real hard? That's Buddy. Flap up, turn head 180, and just poof, straight down in 2 pieces. The pelvis, as I said, hit earlier.
A kind of
falls dead.
Kind of land in the kind of jumbled heap. Land in this jumbled heap and then jump back up to my feet. You can't outfly a dwarf. We're known for jumping.
Yeah, that's the awesome part, was the attack, right? Now comes your fall. And you just kind of splatter, fly prone. Pops up on his next turn. No one saw anything. Yeah.
Dwarves are known for jumping.
There you go. Dahlgren, True Seeker.
And I'm done.
And he's done. Dahlgren, True Seeker.
Well, that changes things.
I don't mean to cut you off, Frank. I'm just trying to cover up the horrible lag chop. I don't know if you've got kids running microwaves, but it's pretty bad. But the show must go on. Dahlgren, running up to help, and nope, he's got that one. You get the hand glowing. Run around with the glow on the hand.
Okay.
A couple dwarves on your left here trying to put out a fire.
I'm actually going to take the time to see if there's any other enemies, such as the Memphit, be anywhere else. Because, like, I've seen the fire coming through 2 doors.
Oh, yeah. He's got allies.
Like, nobody's looked for anybody else.
That's right. Yeah, okay. Sure. You care to maybe, like, step up on a pew there and...
I will take the time to step up on the pew.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I'm close enough to it.
Oh, you want to just run up on stage?
Yeah, I'm going to run up on stage.
All right, sure. So, 5, 10, 20. There we go. 5, 10, 20. 25. Hey! And good old perception seek.
Yeah, I'm just pulling it up here. I finally figured out where I was going wrong.
Ha!
That's better.
22.
22.
So, picture Dahlgren up there. We don't know what he's doing, okay? He's looking for enemies.
Stage and bard.
And you are satisfied there are none. But imagine the guy planting his hands on his hips, scans the room and smiling, nodding happily that thank God, there are no more fire elementals. But, there's literally like explosion flames coming directly from behind him, beyond the council president's chair, just engulfing everything. To his right, 2 dwarves down on the front on his right, beating away a fire. And he's up there probably going, oh, that's, no other enemies. It's all good.
Okay, and I believe I have 1 action left.
Yep.
And I will take that to cast guidance on Albrecht, because he's the nearest one to the fire there. And I have a straight line to him.
Sure. And what does that do?
He gets a +1 stat bonus to 1 attack roll, perception check, saving throw, or skill check.
And how long can he stash it for? Like within the next round?
Until his next turn.
Okay, but like it will burn out if he doesn't use it, is what I'm saying.
That's right. He gets the kids. He can. That's right.
Yeah. Use it or lose it is what I'm going for here.
Yeah.
Righto. All right. Well, Mara of Desna at the end of round 2. The dwarf has seemed to have, you like literally saw, you're lining up your next shot and just cuts him in half. What do you want to do?
Well,
I will say at this point, since you are literally amongst the crowd, you do see people that are getting trapped, falling over. And they talk about an action here where you don't even have to be adjacent to them. you can direct 2 people. You know, you get their attention. You
Yeah,
calm them down,
just continue to help,
and then
the
get up this
and-
way, that kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Because as this moves through, and they are actually following, half of them are going to be left behind, and some of them already are just meowing and complaining and rolling around. But the good news is you can direct up to 2 people towards the door, get them back on their feet,
Okay.
if you wish.
Yep.
Okay,
Will
so
do.
I will shuttle a couple people to safety here on your behalf. Let's go. Move you along here. Sorry, 3 actions to do so from there. And it's time to move the fire and the crowd.
If I may, Jeff,
Yes, sir.
for hero points.
Yes.
Since we
Yes.
since we're just burning through them all. Yes, I finally
tell.
read it.
I did, but I still have a lot of the beta in my head, and there's some exciting improvements and changes.
Yes.
And I tried to focus on the adventure, and like we're going at this tag team because you got to. I would like to thank my crew for helping me pull this off. Like the books dropped 8 days ago, and people have busy lives and work and stuff, and you have to sacrifice a late night with the wife, the kid, the job to crack a book, or all the negotiations we're going in. Again, thank you to Corey Thomas from Dark Galaxies Gaming for backing us and shaking the Fantasy Grounds tree and getting us to set up so quickly. And here we are. We're doing it, gentlemen.
Yes.
We're streaming live, talking about hero points. I'm excited to be
Yes.
here. And thank you all.
So the nice thing about hero points is
Yes.
that they only last 1 session.
Okay.
Right? You get one at the beginning of every session.
Oh.
Every player does. You cannot carry them over to the next session.
So it's a use it or lose it.
Use it or lose it, but based on heroic actions judged
can
by the
earn
DM,
more.
you can earn more.
Well, that's just cool. I like hero points in this system very much.
So it sounds to me like you're doing I burn a hero point to pull off some awesome, put the people out of danger, kill the Menfit, and because he used the hero point to actually succeed, he should get it back.
Yeah, well, that's based up to the DM, but yeah.
Your discretion, sir.
Yeah, so basically you can use
Truly heroic action.
you can use it to re-roll a check.
Yep.
That's one use of it.
Yep.
Or you can use all of your hero points to avoid dying.
But unlike the monk that was like, dun, 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 oh no, I am a little impeded, I will heroically wait and re-roll and he didn't get anywhere, he didn't do anything. This guy corkscrewed and killed a Menfit. I should seriously consider giving him his point back.
Sure.
Frank,
That's up to you.
Frank, not a chance. Moving on. So, no, I'm kidding. No, come on, let's give it up to Frank here, who burned heroically a point, and yes, I will give it back to you, sir. But apparently, you better hurry up and use it because it not only could save your life, it's going to be gone. Do they still have the up to 3 for bringing me chips and?
There is no limit on your hero points, but they only last 1 session. So
Really?
if you hand it,
I thought they tapped at 3.
no, that's all your
it's the
focus
beta.
and stuff like that.
Okay, interesting. All right,
So-
good to know. So
Okay.
keep the heroic acts coming. I mean, the 2 dwarves look like they're kind of sort of reverse doing their laundry. This cloak won't dry. Maybe the fire will help it. That kind of thing. Beating away here. So I'm on the fire hazard. Dun 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 dun. Now on your turn, pardon me, you successfully beat the fire back. So I'm actually going to delete it on my turn. But you did happen to end your turn adjacent to it, and that's the kicker. Whoop, not invisible. Let's remove this fire. So before you guys,
Beat it.
oh no, I did state earlier that it
Mhm.
attacks on its turn. On its
Right.
yeah. So on my turn, if you're still adjacent to me, that would make a little bit more sense. Otherwise, people never even get. How do you roast your marshmallows, right? Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Without roasting yourself.
Yeah. So, yeah, you guys are like flanking a fire, and it would attack you, but now you guys are no longer really adjacent. When you get to the big fire, and you're beating 1 square, but you're adjacent to 2 more. That makes a little bit more sense. So, okay. So, no damage for you guys at this time. However, excuse me, while I pull out your
Burn
little
this guy?
yeah, like I'm just gonna. What do? You guys beat back a fire. I have 1 token left, and I get half plus or minimum 1 So the fire still spreads. It's just kind of like pops back up, doink. Damn it.
It's like fire in The Sims.
Yeah. Now, over here, like this sucker started again. I've got the animated fire PNG, but it started as a 10 square as well, bursting in. And now half of it's 4s too. So again, I'm just going to start licking the walls here, burning the stage. That's that one. And this one over here that we've ignored, where the guy first came through the door. So quick once around the room. The main doors open. A splattered goblin champion who will remain nameless pressed back against the door as people flood out. 2 guards desperately trying to get in there and also get in the goblin's way to see what is going on. A light voice hailing that Desna will protect, guiding at least 2 people out. A roving dwarf satisfied at top of the council chamber with the councilmen themselves trying to calm or call for some kind of order. It's only been 2 rounds. We're at the bottom of round 2. Not a lot of time's gone by. A mass of people flooding and making the pews, which are already difficult terrain, even worse. A hop, scotch, jump, and a scarf twirl of a whipping of fire from a monk. A little here you are, brother, magic on your axe, and more beating with his cloak. Another dwarf, some fire reduced. In the left corner, at the back of the room, we have a massive fire, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 30, 35 feet in sort of square footage. So if I've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, rounded down to 8, that means I get 4 more. So this sucker, unattended, is really starting to pick up ground, boys. 1, 2, as I just, haphazardly drop my little squares around here. But technically, only 4. There we go. Getting to be out of hand. So, I believe that's my fire. And on my turn, I spread. And I see a monk that's beside me. No, I'll still give it to you for now. I'm still a little dodgy on that. Because he's not in the fire, he's beside the fire. Let's just quickly double check. Because, I'd really like to burn you. It's very exciting. Burn, you buggers, burn.
I guess you do kind of have to be a little bit of a sadist if you're
No, not at all. I'm giving out hero points. I'm secretly hoping that I just got to be descriptive and not cry every time my monsters get chopped in half.
Some people get the carrot, some people get the stick.
Yeah. That breeze that riffles the monk's hairy chest, does it fan the fire or help put it out?
Are you kidding? He's going to be a walking Q-tip that's about to burst into flames. Yep, that settles it. 1d6 towards the monk. How are you for resisting fire damage? You are putting out a fire.
No reflex save?
And oh yeah, we'll get to that. Putting out a fire, and then it kind of not surrounds you, but comes back at you, and heat and flames. Yeah, heat and flames for a total of 5. Do you have a ancestry like Mr. Theon that could possibly make you a little bit more tolerant of the flames and the heat?
I do.
You do. You too are this elusive. I believe it's called the. I think it's time to reveal.
Forged dwarf.
Forged dwarf. Years of toil. Well, you both have an anvil. If that was a big Q, you both have an anvil in the pummel of the clan sword. So, 5 points is actually only 4. And then we get your reflex save. Please.
Huzzah! 26.
Ooh, almost a critical success, but not. So close, dude. So close
Only
to a critical
that
success.
natural 20.
No, seriously, like even on like a thing, it's like not only I'm immune for a round. It goes on and on. All right, no, sorry, reflex for half, I believe, or reflex for none. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, sorry, where'd my fire go? And just got so many little panels up here. So much fun to read all this stuff, but got some.
On a critical success, it is 0.
You missed it by 1.
Half.
Okay, that's what I thought. It's like evasion. So close, dude. You want to burn that hero point and get none?
I try to get a natural 20. I rolled a 19. I think I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it, Alex.
Okay. It's like us playing Star Wars. It's just like, come on, you want to burn that first point? Yeah, you do. Just one more, Aiden. All right. So, Half damage, you will take 2, sir, and I will look after that for you here in our tracker manually. First wound of the night. You're doing fine. You're fine.
You're such a kind man.
Yes, I just love pushing buttons. So, yanking the tracker back up. I believe the fire has done its damage, has spread, and has hurt somebody. It's doing well. Out of camera shot, out of the encounter, Oak Festering Tooth, the Wayfinder clan, who will never get to know him, probably. I'm just going to, we'll just keep him out. We'll keep you guessing what's going on outside there. And we'll come back around to round 4. Sorry, not round 3. Round 4. So I believe I missed some stampeding. I think I got some more stampeding to do with these people here. Because I think I clicked through and we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 minus 2 because it was supposed to be 10 thanks to our cleric. And on this side...
Slow it down. Don't make me use this.
1, 2, 3... 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, is the Scottish/Dwarven accent coming up from you because you are part of the...
I'm with dwarves, so
Yeah,
I can't help it.
Yeah, well, there's... we talked about the halfling populace.
They're rubbing off on me.
Well, they talk about this human town has this many dwarves. What the Dwarven Five Mountains has a certain populace of halflings and such. You know, it's kind of like going over to Britain and running into every sort of race and class and social, and they all have British accents. You know, you were raised there. It's a thing. So by all means, we'll just keep the trope coming. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10. You know what's really sad is I'm a quarter Scottish blood myself and cannot do the accent worth crap. Okay. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Oh no. 10. People trapped. So, those in the pews have fallen, stumbled, hesitating, having a rough go. Those in the hall here are, crowding, pushing through, some getting out, some jostling guards. And that should be our round 3 picture. Back to Meros Anvilbender. Meros?
Oh, no, fire, you don't put me out. I put you out. And I want to continue to just do my...
He's talking to the fire. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Any foe, any challenge. All right.
No heat will beat me yet.
All right. Continuing with the scarf of extinguishing.
Whoopah!
We could make it a magical item one day.
Maybe.
All right. Whipping away. Elemental. Well, I'm just going to delete him from the track now because he is no more. And that brings us to Albrick. Al, how you doing, buddy? You've successfully quashed 5 feet. Your kinsman isn't doing so well.
I'll step up to the next 5-foot section and continue to pitter patter, smack it at her.
All right.
Damn ye, fire!
If you go to the top here and draw a line straight through, you technically could flank the fire and drop its AC by 2.
Is that a thing? Because I'm pretty sure it's not a thing. I think you're being sarcastic right now.
Wait, which way's front on fire?
Yeah. Which way is the fire facing?
Hey, I'll give you the same answer I gave Frank with 0 points. Not a chance, but just thought I'd point that out for we're trying to learn the system here as quickly as possible, so I'm taking every opportunity. Can't call upon Joe.
I cast magic missile at the darkness.
Yeah. Please tell me you did not take that spell. Magic missile?
Magic missile? No.
Or darkness.
Or did you? I think it's
Don't you have to take magic missile?
No, I don't have to.
I don't know. Anyway, sorry, Albrick.
Nope.
Stomping away, yeah?
Stomping away. That's my turn.
Right.
Wacky, slappy, gooey, fire.
Okay, Theon, you are up, sir. And Dahlgren is on deck. What do you want to do?
I'll kind of collect myself, reach down, pick up the half of this creature that was flapping around, and look at the guys on the stage. What are your buildings made of wood? Help put the fire out, or we're all gonna cook in here.
Smoke makes you guys cough nastily. It's like the inhalation. It's one more round of the smoke, boys, and you're all going to start taking damage from said smoke inhalation. But that's the excitement of round 4 when we get down to it.
And then I'll move to there.
We're in round 4. Oh, isn't that great? Wait, the fire's turn. Start. If I can't burn you, monk, I'll cough you out. All right, so moving up, trying to get people to play nice, get stuff done. Dahlgren, Trueseeker. Whose side are you really on? I mean, I still have you in yellow here. I mean, you've been trying to do stuff. You haven't really quite got to a guidance. Oh, sorry, you did cast guidance on.
Yeah. But I'm not exactly feeding the fire.
No. I'm sure it'll help the sorcerer with his flanking maneuver that he's kind of botched, but that's okay. What do you want to do now?
No, it really is interesting because this is a fire. I mean, what would I be doing in a fire?
Running a little circle going fire. I mean, it's...
Leaving.
Yeah.
Like, if I was fireproof, I would...
You could tell the dwarven councilman how about your feelings for him. We're going to die here. Just saying.
Nice. Give me a sec.
He's on his way over to you. You better put someone in front of you. Here he comes.
He's going to show me his, right?
He's got a ring in his hands, building up the nerve, Look at the fire spreading.
There's enough of us here, like these three that are to my left.
Yeah.
You know what? If we push this council table straight back, we might actually stop the fire from coming through there, or at least slow it down.
You can use certain materials in here to cause a blockade, and yes, that is a thing.
Let's get this. That's what I yell at them. Grab this table.
And
I'll take time to.
And yes, directing the council members to do something other than what they're doing. No, it's not like they're useless. They are doing something. They're actually trying to help people, and they will try to sort of quasi rescue people as the rounds tick by. But apparently they're open to suggestion. So yeah, let's grab you, and me, as it were, and now putting them on Dahlgren's turn. You guys start shoving this table against the wall to try to
slow it down.
Yep.
Give it something else to burn.
He said he wasn't feeding the fire. He shoves a desk. There we go.
I realize that.
It is legit. You are causing a barricade, but it's
Can I intimidate the fire?
That was maybe for the fire Menfit, but
no diplomacy. No.
It's okay. Mara.
Yes.
What are you doing?
I am guiding people.
Okay.
Clonking them on the head if necessary. Behave.
Okay. It says if you spend all 3 actions each turn, as long as things aren't getting really bad for them, as long as they are up, like they're not falling over, choking, or prone, where you have to literally go over and grab one, then you can direct 2 each of your turns. Okay. And I will allow you to do that now. So freeing 2 more. Dun, dun, dun. Who's the liberator now, Joe? She's doing great. Your champion goblin not doing so hot out there. Just waves and waves of people, and the halflings liberator. I'm just thinking, you'll make a great healer.
Yeah,
she's
but
doing
you can always run away.
Run away. All right. So now it's the fire's turn, and it's round 4. And according to my wonderful little story here, round 2, round 4, creatures in the room take 1d6 points of damage from smoke inhalation at the end of their turns. But that's very complicated for me, so I'm just like, the fire's turn, and whoosh. Not breaking the rules, just bending them for simplicity. So 1 room, 1 giant patch of smoke, 1 dice roll, cough, 4 points, the entire room, all of you. And I will happily dance those numbers into your characters right now. 4 for you, and you get 4 points of smoke inhalation, and you get 4 points of smoke inhalation.
All right, Oprah.
All right, just having a good time.
Ow, my carcinogens.
But you know what? There's a goblin outside that's, not taking any damage from smoke inhalation. So at least you got that, Joe. And the people not doing well. So, the fire, fires do as fires do. I'm going to pull up my little icon here. And it's time to drop another hazard token in front of the dwarf. Sorry, dude. It's right in front of the sorcerer. It just seems to be the logical path. So I had 6, so that gives me 3. Dun, 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 dun. Now, instead of spreading 3, I'm going to reduce how much this spreads with your barricade idea. So I'm actually going to take one of those fires back.
That's fair.
Yeah. And it can spread so quickly. Maybe get some quaffing action in there. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Wow, and half is 6. This one's having a great time. 1, 2. Sorry. Spam. 3, 4. It says I have to be adjacent, so I'm as much as I'd love to run along the walls, I do have to sort of come out to the room a wee bit. But that corner is just lit right up. 2 dwarves are pounding away. I just love how the center of the room, 2 dwarves are focused on this one pew that just keeps like sort of outflanking them with its fire. The corner of the room is just completely ablaze, and everyone's ignoring it. They're all going for like the lesser threat of fire. Awesome. I love it. So, getting back to Moros. It jumped him. I don't know why. I think I double-clicked there. Moros Anvilbender. This, you've spent your turn doing it. It has, extinguished. Just gone.
I don't believe it until I see it.
Yeah, I'm trying to get rid of it here. I think I'm pushing on the wrong button here. There we go. And only a wee bit of fire left. Now, you guys did your quaffing on your turn, and I went next. So I'm even going to be so kind as to say that this fire did not spread. You guys got it put out. Because it was so small. Ooh. Yep. Because I'm a benevolent DM.
We didn't start the fire, but we sure as hell ended it.
There you go. So, Moros, what do you want to do?
Start the fire. The world was
Come on, Matt. There you go.
So there's just seems to be like the councilman up by the one bench now.
There's a couple councilmen that you can direct, but a lot of them are falling in line with the dwarf, trying to help move furniture to block the one door. Barricade is a legit fire tactic. There's a raging blaze with nothing but you between it, blocking in the corner there. There's about 10 people on your side of the room. They're trapped, falling over, and coughing and dying of smoke inhalation right behind you. There's a horde at the door still trying to make its way out. I'll just move a couple here. Excuse me, Mr. Goblin. We'll just put minis right on top of you. Squish, squish, squish. And Mara is politely leading. She's rescued 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 left. You're doing great. Halfling actually is, technically speaking, helped the most. Would you like an extra hero point? No. That's why favoritism. We're not going for that. All right. What do you want to do there?
There's behind the pew to the south of me. There's a personage.
There's people, right? So you don't have to get to them, as long as they're not like down, flat out cold.
Right. I'm looking for anyone who might be down, out, flat, cold.
Okay. If they're out, flat, cold, you can move to them, pick them up. If they're up and ready or just kind of entangled, you can like direct to, and like action 1 is like getting their attention. Action 2 is soothing them, and then action 3 is directing them out. Shaking my fist and making the eyeball 2 finger. Get out.
Okay. So I don't see anybody who's down and out though.
You can spend a perception to discern.
I will sense.
Okay.
Attempt to, anyways. 13.
Okay. Nope. There are people that are bent over, coughing and staggering and moving very slowly, like possibly by the next round, they could succumb.
Right.
And a lot of people are doing that, but technically everyone's still kind of flailing. If that makes sense.
Is there no save versus smoke inhalation?
No, it literally states if you are in this room, when you end your turn, round 4, enough smoke has built up already that you just start taking damage because you are within the environment. Just like stepping into fire. That's 4d6, not 1d6, because technically the entire ceiling now is,
How high is the ceiling from here?
15 feet.
Yeah,
15 feet.
It's the proverbial council room of 15, 20, but yeah. I mean, even though you don't have your head in the thick of it,
and the ceilings are like wood, right?
Oh yeah, this whole place is like a drinking hall from Valhalla. It's just wood, and more wood.
All right. Hey Theon, we need to make some more holes in this damn wall before the fire does there. I let some smoke or some people out there. One exit's not enough. And with that, I would like to move over. I'm in pew, so it's difficult terrain.
Yeah, unfortunately. Even if you like shotgun.
Yeah, no. Shotgun. All right, so that's 10. I can go through friendlies.
Yep.
Okay. That's 20. Then I'm in free space to go 5, 10, 15, 20. And then that's my 3 actions for the go.
Okay. You cross a wide, thick, decorative carpet, which is like 15 feet wide and a good like 80, 90 feet long. Probably burn well, but also is an object that, is useful.
Noted.
Use
I
it
only
to
point this
smother
out
the
to you because
fire.
to you it looks like a giant flat scarf. I would not have pointed this out to anyone else.
Poke a hole in it, put the head through the hole.
Like a poncho
That works.
of protection.
I like the way you think. Yeah.
Well, it's also has like several people. It's like 80 feet long. Like it would take some
Get
serious
everybody under the scarf.
material. Oh, you mean like the old blanket on the head? Everyone get under the carpet to breathe, like putting a
Exactly.
blanket. Sorry. Well, when you put a hole in it, that kind of threw me.
I yell over my shoulder.
Yeah. Don't put a hole in it. Just get them under it. All right. Anyway, so your move, you're up. Theoin, it is your turn, sir.
All right, so
What about me?
Oh, sorry. The tracker
skip?
had skipped Norris. It is Elbric's turn. Al, sorry.
Haha.
You're still relevant. Sure you are, buddy. What do you want to
Right. I think we're a little outmatched by this fire, folks. Let's just get as many people out as we can. And I'll turn into the hall and start directing some of the people in the back.
So spending all your actions to free 2. I'll just put 2. Like if they're out of the pew area, we'll say they're up and running, or staggering. If they're in the pews, they are trapped in some capacity, flailing about. And soon that people are going to start succumbing and just be a big, they're going to be baggage. All right. So there's your 2. Theoin.
well, that is a great idea. It's
Okay.
time to take this party outside.
Okay.
5, 10, 15, 20. There's one move.
Yep.
And then I will also try to direct some people
Okay.
lodged in the pews. Or do I have to go get them?
No, it takes all 3 to do 2. So since you've moved, I'll give you 1.
Oh, okay. Then I'll stay put.
Okay.
Yep, and I'll just start directing.
All right.
I thought I had to be closer.
You shaking your axe, pointing at what you did to that pew. They get their butts up and they move. All right. Dahlgren. So we heave on this desk, we push it, and we contain it. This heavy oak ashen desk doesn't burn so easily as the wood flooring and the walls, and you're causing it sort of to come right at us and the people. Its path is sort of directed to spread along the wall. I mean, it's not a great solution, but it will slow it, because you're trying to save lives. This is what I'm assuming.
Okay, well then.
Or did
I'll
you always
try-
just hate this hall because they never let you in here, and now you just
That's a give it a bean.
toxic?
The fire. It's my
Okay.
turn. No. Same thing. At this point, when I see what they're doing,
Mhm.
I'll start directing the council. Like we slowed it down.
Okay.
Get out of here while you can.
Okay.
I'll spend all the full turn doing that.
Okay.
That should get the stage cleared off at least.
Sorry. So you're doing
gonna
it, or you're
direct-
getting them to do it?
No, now that we've got that pushed over and
Yeah.
we've slowed it down,
Yeah.
I'm going to direct them to get out of here.
Okay. Right. So
I
you
really
just-
did expect the fire to spread faster.
Okay. They're hesitant to leave while there's still people here.
Well, you know what? Then you know what? Oh, if they show hesitant, I said, well, then help the others get out. Like, go
Yes.
down there, grab somebody, and take them with you.
Wonderful. We will do that. And that's exactly what they do on their turn. Each now being able to help 2 people. So there's 5 counselors. So now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Each of these 5 and yourself, directing them, and then directing somebody else. So we'll give you the bonus guy.
Well, there's one little guy over the left.
Yeah,
Where's
the guy that
that
said
with-
fire, he's like dragging along the wall. All but 2, one on each side of the room, are up and staggering and coughing and choking and making their way, flooding, to the front, kind of thing. Now I've kind of had a stack going out the door here, so I think we should empty, 2, 5, 6, 7. I've got 4 rounds going of 40 people trying to leave. And let's say
Are they all trampling the goblin on the way out?
you don't know. You go out there and see. What goblin? No one saw nothing. Only a halfling knows he exists. He's like Pokeroo.
Or snuffle up against.
No
There's a
idea.
whole joke there.
There's a
There's whole
rumor.
other joke.
Some guard said somebody came in, asked permission and said he was here to save the town's problems, and then just whoosh, they just completely forgot about So we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. I still think we're a little heavy. So a couple more in these rounds, have got out, and the numbers have thinned, but you still have a decent 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Because most of the time, like only a halfling was really earlier on going, get out 2, get out 2. Now all of a sudden he turns the council around, whoosh, a whole bunch get going. The 3 of you got bogged down legitimately with firefighting and hazards, So we could have got more out, but we've got a good half of them out. And it's Mara's turn. Mara.
Yes.
Okay, people are up and moving, but there is somebody that seems trapped close to you.
Okay.
And you will have to move to them, and you will have to drag their butt out of here.
Okay. So I do so.
Okay. So if you give me athletics check and just kind of climb with a basic DC, it's still difficult terrain, but you can go straight at them. You know what I mean?
Okay.
5, 10, get in there. Get over there. So you get your
Do you
move.
want athletics or acrobatics?
It depends on you. You want to, well, to make it easy, like a climb check just to kind of like get up over a chair is easier. It's a lower DC than like acrobatic, where he was like, I'm going on the backs of chairs,
My acrobatics is so much better.
Well, sure. If you want to jump up and sure. You want to, what's that scene at the end of Dundee where they're all packed into the subway and he's like riding on top of everybody, jumping around. Okay, 15, yep. Nimble of foot, jump on the back of one, and yep, showing the monk how it's done. Landing on a toe, pirouetting, and then on to the next. Can I have another one?
Yep.
Difficult terrain, like the 20-foot move I gave you is actually 2 10s. Dun, 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 dun. And 9, not so good. Okay, so you get halfway there. Now you have an action left, so you can try to do that movement as opposed to trying to get him up. So give me one more.
Okay.
22, you're good. You're at his side.
Okay.
Now you must pick him up and then start moving with them, dragging them, to safety.
Okay.
If you want to speed this along, you could burn a hero point and just could possibly give
Sure, I will burn a hero point.
Or you might want to save it for when something goes horribly wrong. That's up to you.
No, I'm saving a life. It's all
Yeah?
good.
All right. A couple options with the hero point. Can I have a strength check for this tiny little person just sort of heft, and I'm just like the guy's lying there and he just sort of like props up and starts moving like he's on his own, like you're wearing the bear rug. It's not like you lift him high in the air, but you kind of get under one arm and shoulder and heft him up and just kind of do the drag as if you're, imagine a bearskin
I
rug.
pretty much don't do anything.
With a 1. Oh my. Critical failure. Okay, so you get under this arm, you pick him up, you start bearskinning rug, he catches, and you trip, and you're buried under him. And you're trapped. And you will need an escape artist check.
From the fire.
Sorry?
That's true.
You're protected from the fire.
Smoking light. Again, Moros. You're trying to slip away on me. I keep seeing that initiative on you move. I wonder what I've done there.
I told you, I'm a wiry one.
I see that. It's environmental hazard time. All right. Round 5. First of all, everybody in the room takes a d6 of smoke inhalation. Another 5 points, boys and girls. This does not bode well for some of us. Meros has 6 wounds and a total of 16 left for a total of 22, and you're up to 11, sir. So you're getting into the red here, as it were. You're getting not good shape. We're taking Ulbrich up to 9 wounds. You got 9 left. Theron, unfortunately, smoke. It's not about the heat. It's about breathing, and so.
Smoke inhalation.
Yeah. So that brings you up to 12, dropping you guys. So basically, at these points, Muros took 11 and he has 11 left. Ulbrich took 9, has 9 left. Theron took 12, has 11 left. Dahlgren's immortal. Spoiler, he's actually a god. He's Calgon. No. It brings you up to 9. And he's not doing too bad with 11. Mara, unfortunately, cough, choke. Buried under a guy. Unfortunately, at the end, you exerted yourself. You got up high in the air, jumped across pews, and lifted the guy. So, as much as I'd like to give you Dahlgren's bonus or something, less damage, the exertation, I'm going to say, put you at par, and you too as well. Take 99? Nope. Hang on, let's try that again.
Hey, now.
Sorry.
Good roll.
Yes. And that's us. And now the fun part. Round 5. Spectators still inside the room fall unconscious from burns and smoke elevation. Everybody out here in the hallway, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 people all collapse right where they are. They just, we're free. You know, we've all been yelled at and pointed, and we're making our way to the door, and and they just kind of move 5, 10-ish feet towards the door and collapse unconscious. We'll just line them up so they're just easily accessibly baggage for you, because I'm a nice DM. You know, we clap in a nice orderly heap, making it easier. Yeah, sure. And that is the top of round 6. Fire burns raging in the corner. Fire is blocked. The councilman on Dahlgren's turn will surely move up to help. God, we hope so. And a wave, they all collapse like Andy's coming. Spectators fall unconscious, and you guys are center of the room, coughing and hacking yourselves down at least half your hit points. And we will see you next time on Fantasy Ground, sponsored down here at Dark Galaxies Gaming. Thank you everyone for coming. We hope to see you next Friday right at 8 p.m. This will be restreamed tomorrow night on our channel on Twitch TV/GM's Cut, where some of us will find loitering and talking about our exploits, talking to you directly in the lobby. Thank you so much for coming, and I believe that is a legit cliffhanger. Thank you all. Good night.